Happy holiday, Moors. Welcome to House of Reawakening Minds. Thank you for coming out and tuning in to House of Reawakening Minds as we strive to be a holistic center for spiritual grounding, free thought, self-discovery, and Moorish science, an awakening experience for all ages. Please note that the views, opinions, and services expressed or offered by guest lecturers are those of the lecturers and do not necessarily reflect the official policy or position of House of Reawakening Minds. We have some general housekeeping rules. Please silence your cell phones or you can place them on vibrate. No audio or video recording. Restroom is to the right. Please walk across the rear and do not in front of the camera. Today, our guest lecturer is Abdullah Talib Mosi Bey, educator, author of Moors and Masonry, as well as upcoming book of in August or early September of 2018, which is Masonic Compass and Square and their connection to the measurement and timekeeping. Please stand and face east as the Moorish American prayer will be said.
Please place your feet at a 45-degree angle, five fingers on the left and 2 on the right, and repeat after me. Allah, the Father of the universe, the Father of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Allah is my protector, my guide, and my salvation by night and day. Through his holy prophet, Drew Ali. Ameen. Thank you.
Ready? All right. Salam, everyone. Assalamu alaikum. Veda Megum. Veda Megum. Beyond. Respond. Not beyond. I shall come. Come into the light. Veda Megum. Come into the light. Beyond. I shall come. All right. First question. This is the first segment of the presentation. Why is Friday the holy day? Yes. We're going to give the mic. All right. Why is Friday the holy day?
From what I was told, it's because we were manifested in the flesh that day.
All right, so we were manifested in the flesh. I'll write that one down. Manifested in the flesh. Anyone else?
The prophet was born and died on that day.
Prophet, talking about Dwali, right? Over Dwali. Died, was born, more about what yourself. Was born and died on Friday. So that day, all right, that's your answer. No, that's your answer. All right, another one answer? What about those who are listening? Those who are listening via Facebook Live. They have an answer? Why is Friday the holy day? Why not Thursday? Or Thursday? Or Day of Odin? Why not Wednesday? Or Wooden Day? Right? Why not Tuesday or Dias Day? Why not Moon Day or Sunday or Dominical Day of Power? Dominique, or Dominoes, I am power. Why Friday? Was that arbitrarily decided?
Charles Brown Bay stated, because our father Adam was created on Friday.
All All right? Our father, Adam, was created on Friday. Anyone else? I'd like to get, that way we get ready to keep you engaged. Our father Adam was created on Friday. Got manifested in flesh. But it's saying, you're saying that we were manifested in flesh, but he's saying our father Adam was created on Friday. I don't know what he means by that. I don't know what he means by that. All right, I'm going to write it down. And then whatever y'all give me, write it down. All right, anyone else? One more? Can we get one more? Is it arbitrarily decided? I guess y'all not saying it's arbitrarily decided. Y'all gave me the answers of it. Happy Holy Day. Why is it holy? Why is it day holy? What makes it holy? What makes it happy? What makes it holy? That's another question. All right, let me hit it. Friday in Old Norse, the Old Norse word is Freya. Freya, the goddess of love or goddess of fertility. Goddess of love, goddess of fertility. Freya. They'll give the etymology Friday love because it connects to the goddess of love or fertility in Old Norse. The word that's used in Latin is Venus, Uranus, Dies, day of Venus, day of Venus. So Friday is the day of Venus. So Friday is holy, is the holy day because it connects to the planet Venus. Freya is Venus, that's in Old Norse. So why Venus? What is so special about Venus? Have you ever heard of the helical rising of Venus? The helical, I'll put, because I want to keep these answers up here right now. The helical rising of Venus. Helical means pertaining to the sun. I misspelled sun. That's Old English for sun. That's UL, which means I. And the sun means, and I wrote it too. And I wrote the Old English spelling. All right. So sun, the etymology for sun means I. So I wasn't gonna go there because I spoke the Old English, but it's tied. The etymology for the word sun is I. Why? This here is a symbol for the eye of Ra. The eye of Ra. And Ra is what? The Egyptian sun. The name, all right? The name for the sun in Egyptian. Eye of Ra. So, you see, this is called epistemology. Epistemology is a branch of philosophy that deals with how one knows knowledge. So this imagery, epistemologically, this word sun, epistemologically is connected to this image. That's why it means eye, because it's what? The symbol, eye of sun. That's why they got it from. That's why they're defining, so they kept it. They maintained it in its etymology. they maintain the epistemology in the etymology. That's why it's defined as I, because this is the symbol. This is the glyph for the sun. All right? Helical rising of Venus. What's so Venus is special because the helical rising of Venus is in between the middle of March and first week of April. And what occurs, what the helical rising of Venus brings is rain. We made a calendar, which is a 260-day calendar. The Venus calendar is 260 days. They were referred to as the Mayans, charted the cycle of Venus with meticulous calculations because the agriculture was dependent on that. The rain was needed for the corn to grow. Cornucopia, horn of plenty. So the rain was needed, so you had to chart it by making a calendar and calculation charts. So this is why Friday is the holy day. It's the day of Venus, the day of fertility. All right? So that I don't want you just to arbitrarily, nothing was arbitrarily decided. Laws of nature and nature's God is the guiding factor for everything we do. That's the guide. That's the law. Nature's the law. We didn't step without nature. Every move we made, every ritual, every idea, every thought, architecture, design, everything is tied to that cosmological scheme of nature. All right? So that's why Venus is the holy day. Now, the manifested in flesh concept, that's why I wanted to leave up here so I can explain each one. It just needed more clarity. With this. The manifested in flesh. You're looking at fertility here. So this is the concept of fertility, the manifestation of flesh. Let's look at 9 months of gestation in your mother's womb. So there's that aspect of fertility. There's an aspect of fertility. So it is connected to the manifestation of one's manifestation in the flesh. All right, because you being in your mother's womb for a period of 9 months, that process of fertility taking place, all right, of nurturing, of growth and development in the womb for 9 months. So there's a connection there. Our father Adam was created on Friday. Adam, so I'm just put some, we put some epistemology to this. Adam, you have your electrons, protons, and neutrons. So if you want to look at a crystal or how something was created or this scheme or pattern of creation of crystals or plants, it has an atomical arrangement. What is the atomical arrangement of this particular crystal? All right? Right. How many electrons and protons and neutrons? What is its makeup? What is its atomical makeup? What is its atomical structure? All right? So you're looking at creation and Adam are connected because you're looking at the atomical arrangement of a particular molecule. All right, so we deal with aspect of science. Let's put the epistemology to it. So we're not just, I don't want y'all to be parents. I don't want y'all to be parents. I want you Friday the holy day. You know, manifested in flesh. Our father Adam was created. That's being a parent. I want y'all to parent. I want you to know it. I want you to know why Friday the holy day. Why our father Adam was created in Friday. Why manifested in flesh. What does that mean? What is the epistemology? What is it connected to? All right? Any questions? Those who are listening via Facebook Live. Those here in the audience. Any questions? Points of clarification before I go on. So I can move on? All right. All right. Friday the 13th. There's a movie, a series, a sequel called Friday the 13th. And why are people afraid of this day? Why are they afraid of the term Friday the 13th or phrase Friday the 13th? Why? Well, there's a sequel called Friday the 13th. And it's killing and killing and killing and killing and killing and killing and killing that goes on in the movie. So millions of people, for the past, 20 years plus, have been conditioned to associate Friday the 13th with killing and killing and killing and killing and blood and killing and glory and blood and killing and glory. See what the Europeans did? They used the title. They used an act of killing and associated with a sacred fertility, feminine title. They are wicked, demonic. They took a most sacred fertility of the moon and Venus, Friday the 13th. And people are afraid. Oh, the day's Friday the 13th. It's unlucky. Oh, where'd that come from? Where'd that come from? Why millions? Why millions? Unlucky. What are they doing? Social engineering. Fear. So disconnect you from this. It's fear. Social engineering. So Friday the 13th. All right. You know what Friday is, right? Day of Venus. You know what that's connected to, right? Venus calendar. All right, 260-day calendar. All right, then with the morning star. 13 moon cycles. 13 moon cycles. $354 days. Looking at your lunar calendar. Lunar calendar is a 354-day calendar, which is 365. You have your solar calendar and also your Sirius calendar. Your solar calendar is 365 a quarter day. That's what, 11 point. I said it was a quarter, not a half. Point what? 25, right? 11.25 day difference. 11.25. Right? Is that right?
I was going to say, the moon is like 28 days, 28.
It's 360. Oh, my math. It's 360. What is it? So let's put here. It's 300. Cycle is 354. Got my math off. It's 354. We're going to stick with it's 354 because it's 11 days. It's 11 days difference. It's 11 days difference in the time. These are two different calendars. You have the solar calendar and the lunar calendar. Two different times. Two different calendars. Where the solar calendar, the lunar calendar doesn't take in the calculation of the seasons. It's not following the seasons. All right? The lunar calendar is not based off the seasons. The solar calendar is. The lunar calendar is based off what? The moon. Now, circle 7. What is circle 7? Circle 7. You see it all the time. Circle 7. More science. What is more science? You know, more science. No, what is more science? You know. No, I don't know. You tell me then. What is more science? Well, you know. More science. I'm going to ask you the question. What is more science? The Moorish Science Temple of America. Moorish Science Temple of America. So what is more science?
Yeah.
Study of the universe. What does that mean? What does that mean? So you're studying the universe. What does that mean? You need what's study of the universe? What does that mean? What does that mean? Study of cosmology. What is that? When I'm saying what is that, give me an example. Operationalize it for me. Give me an example. Say study of the universe. Give me an example of that. It's too broad of an answer. Not wrong answer, too broad.
Study of the earth, wind and fire and water.
Too broad. Study of earth, wind, fire, and water is too broad of an answer. Anyone else? More science. What is more science? What I'm doing is challenging you to think. I'm not accepting broad answers. It's not. Because that doesn't challenge you to think. Be more detailed in your answer. What about the universe is studied? What about its origin? How can I function with that answer? Give me a more detailed example. Anyone else?
Seal Court stated Moorish science is an ancient philosophy that is universal.
Too broad of an answer. An ancient philosophy that's universal. Too broad of an answer. All right. Science means to know. Coming from Sierra, to know. All right. The root word is SCI, to know. Give me an example of more science.
The moon.
We got circle 7 here.
The cycle of the moon.
Think. The cycles of the moon. That's an example. That is a clear example that you can function with. The cycles of the moon. That means you can study the cycles of the moon. If you say, well, study the universe. It's too broad. It's like, all right, you tell the sister over here, study the universe. It's too confusing. It's too broad of an answer. It's nothing that's directive. But study the cycles of the moon. Well, that's directive. You can study the cycles of the moon. All right, so 13 cycles, and there's 4 major moon phases. All right, in between each major moon phase, there's 7 days. And you can go outside and see the moon and see the different phases. That's more specific. That's something that can be operationalized. All right, study the universe. So she goes outside. You said study the universe. So she goes outside. looks up in the sky, clueless. It says study the universe. Clueless. They say, well, study Orion. Study Orion. So she go outside. You know, Orion has 3 pole stars. They're really bright stars that lead the way. Because she go outside and see 3 stars in a row, and that's Orion. That's more directive. That's right. That's, you know what I'm saying? But studying the universe is too broad. Just want to challenge you to think. Just think. All right? Circle 7. I'm not accepting any general answers. This is not. I came here to teach. I came here to stimulate thought. I'm not going to do that and waste my time. It should come. Stay home, watch TV, or work on my book. Circle 7. What is that? Oh, that's circle 7. What does it mean? I first will ask questions before I just start talking. We'll see where you are. Those who are listening via Facebook Live, what are your answers? What is circle 7? What does it mean?
Study of the sun, moon, stars, planets.
Study of the sun, moon, stars, planets. Why 7?
7 planets that rule out of 9.
7 days of the week. What are these openings?
Gates.
Gates. What? Gates. What do the gates that mean what?
Seasons.
Seasons. The 4 seasons. The 4 seasons. See, that's more specific. That's something you can take home with you. Study. Gates, you can't take gates and do anything. I can't take, you hit the seasons, you can. Alright? 7 days of the week. Alright? Or 7. Now, why 7 days? Where's the 7 days come from? I gave you the answer. That's not the answer I gave you. I mean, 7 relates to 7 relate to Pleiades, 7 relate to 7 planets, 7 relate to the 7 chakras, 7 relate to, I mean, we go, I can go all day long about 7 chakras, 7 planets, 7 days a week. All right, Pleiades, the 7 sisters of Pleiades, or 7 stars of Pleiades. I can go on. All right? So 7. What does this 7 mean? What does 7 mean in the circle 7? What does 7 in the circle 7 stand for?
Corey Ill stated 7 is the number of completion.
That's what that means in the circle 7? All right. Here we go. Seven up here. Right. Let's start. Right? Let's open it. All right. New moon can't be seen. New moon, first quarter moon, first quarter moon, full, huh? No, that's right. That's right. Full moon. Last quarter moon, and full moon, new moon. All right, here's your 7 days, y'all. You can go outside and check it yourself. Don't believe me. I don't want you to believe me anyway. All right, that's 7 days. 7 days between new moon, first quarter moon. 7 days between first quarter moon, full moon. 7 days between full moon, last quarter moon. 7 days to the last quarter, back to the full moon. 7 plus 7 plus 7 is what? All right. See what I'm doing? See how I'm being specific, detailed? You can go test it. This can be tested. This can be tested. Let's go outside and measure it. Go outside. On new moon. 7 days later will be another moon phase. 7 days later will be another moon phase. 7 days later will be another moon phase. You can calculate that. So you have what? You have here 2 calendars that are symbolized here. 2 calendars. What? The solar calendar, which what? Charts the 4 seasons. The lunar calendar charts what? The cycles of the moon. 354 days and 365 in 1 quarter day. You bring those 2 calendars together, it's called the lunar solar calendar. And you have a system called intercalation when you add a month, day, month, week, or month. Because you have to make the count for the adjustment. Because you're talking 2 different calendars with 2 different times. 365, 1 quarter, solar. 354, the lunar. You have to use a system called intercalation. Alright? I'll write on the board. Intercalation. This is more science. I'm talking more science. With detail. I know that I had to be detailed. Being general is not going to get it done. It's not going to fix your mind. It's just too broad of answers are not going to get it done. Because you can't apply those broad answers. You can't see it with those broad answers. You can't function with it with those broad answers. With this you can, because you can see it being operated. Any questions? Comments? Criticism? I don't know what I'm talking about. You gotta show me I don't know what I'm talking about. Just not tell me.
So, Islam. So the moon is on, the circle 7 is based off feminine energy. If Venus is the moon and circle 7 is the cycle of the moon, so that's the feminine energy.
It's the feminine energy. It's always feminine because you're looking at the creation. Creation is feminine. We're looking at, it's tied to agriculture. Because the woman is the creative energy. All life comes through woman. She's fertile. The earth, and the reason why we personify the sun, or particularly the Venus, Sirius, and the moon and Pleiades, because they were tied to agriculture. There were calendars were made. And so we're looking at Pleiades, deal with 7. 7 is Pleiades, because that's your 7 stars. And that 7 stars also tied to agriculture. Venus was heavily tied to agriculture. Because the corn depended on that. Depended on the rain. Sirius tied to agriculture. That's the lifeblood of the Nile Valley. Because the Nile River, when it flooded or inundated, the soot is high in nutrients, rose to the surface, and fertilized the Nile Valley for the crops to grow. So that cross, being a diameter, marked and charted the flooding, the annual flooding of the Nile. The Europeans came along, well, not only were we there too, so everything's not blamed on the Europeans. The Europeans were not the ones who initiated the destruction of fertility sites, honoring, so I'm not blaming everything on the Europeans. The Europeans were not the ones that initiated the destruction of sites that honor Venus or the moon, Auza. Europeans were not the ones. that initiated that. They're part of it, but they're not the only one. Don't say this to Europeans. No. I agree behind males. We're part of that too. So I really have a hard time pushing male images. I can't do it. I can't. There are miles of blood, miles of women's blood that brought about those male images. Miles of women's blood brought about the bowing down to male images. Why do millions of people worldwide bow down, worship, honor male images? Blood, killing women, destroying ancient archetypes of Azusa, the moon. That's why. So I can't honor that. I'll bow down to a woman's statue. I'll give honor to female names, but not to no male names. Can't do it. Not based on what I know. Can't do it. I won't do it. I'll bow down to this name. Why? Allah, she. Allah, she. Allah, she. Why people say he? The he is part of the bloodshed. The he is part of the bloodshed of women. That's how the he came. That's how the he was associated with Allah. Allah. Auza. Monet. You have the shrine. The Kaaba. The Kaaba is the black meteorite. And placed in a cube. The Kaaba is a female shrine. Because it's the moon's being seen at night. That's why the black meteorite is used as a symbol of the moon being seen at night. They wear black as a symbol of the moon being seen at night. Why? The beginning of the day began what? When the moon was seen. Those who operate on the lunar calendar started their day, calculated their day. The onset of the day was calculated when they first saw the moon. So their rise was what? Moonrise. That's when you go on the solar calendar. That's why. So everything was moon. Allah, Auza, moon. Goat, horns, goat, moon, goat, sin. Nana, Allah, sin, moon. 13, Friday, Venus. And what do Europeans do? And also males that look like me and you do. Suppress that. I'm not going to say everything on the Europeans, fam. I'm not going to, if I'm going to tell the truth, everything's not from the Europeans. But everything it's not invented by the Europeans. That's a bullshit lie. All right? Any questions? Yes. Get the mic. Wait for the mic, bro.
I'm on the Egyptian calendar. Today is actually the last day of the year before the intercalary day.
What's the Egyptian calendar?
I guess where we're getting the Gregorian one from. What's like the
Change it up.
the New Year.
You want it. Hold on.
The New Year.
But change up how you're saying it.
It's the origin of the Gregorian calendar.
Change up how you're saying it.
I know the
Gregorian calendar was misrepresented. The Egyptian calendar has been misrepresented. The Egyptian calendar has been misrepresented as the Gregorian calendar.
Okay.
It's not the origin of the Gregorian calendar. Why? Why am I telling you that's the way you're saying it? You were on it, but it's not the origin of the Gregorian calendar. Why? Because there's no such calendar. It's the same calendar. What they're calling the Gregorian calendar is the Egyptian calendar. In 1582, on October 4th, 1582, quote unquote, using the Egyptian title, Pope Gregory the 13th, because there is a one-day lapse every 4 days in the Egyptian calendar, Gregory the 13th had to make the adjustments. He jumped the calendar by 10 days. So tonight, October 4th, we wake up the next day is October 14th. October 14th, 1582. There was no October 4th, there was October 5th, 1582. There was no October 6th, 1582. There was not October 7th, 1582. It was jumped to make the adjustments. That's what they're calling the Gregorian calendar. It's the Egyptian calendar with adjustments made by Gregory the 13th in 1582. Am I clear on what I'm saying? Caesar in 443 BC did pretty much the same thing, using one of the Sirius, an astronomer, to take an Egyptian calendar to make adjustments. They call that what? The Julian calendar. Brother, they didn't make the calendar, yo. You can't show me a Gregorian calendar or the Egyptian calendar, or Julian or Gregorian calendar. You follow me? Follow me. I'm going to prove my point. A calendar is based off an astronomical phenomenon. You have to have something that you're going to base your society, that you're going to chart. Venus, the moon, or Sirius, dog star. All right, what is the quote unquote Gregorian calendar based off of?
The helical rising series.
Thank you. Which is no such calendar called Gregorian calendar. That's my whole point. Once you understand how a calendar is made, what's the focal point of a calendar, then you understand that they make a calendar. 365 days is what? The cycle of Sirius. Questions? You have Chichen Itza, the pyramid at Chichen Itza. There are 4 sides, 91 steps. 91 times 4 is 364, and the top step is the, what, 365th step. That's a calendar, encoded. It's a Syrian calendar, encoded. All right? This is more science. This is masonry. This is folklore. This is superstition. All one and the same. Mythology, folklore, superstition. It's more science. Science, philosophy, all one and the same. What they did was, Europeans in this case did this, they separated them to make money. Philosophy. It was all under philosophy. It was all philosophy. Let me prove my point. PhD step, Dr. Nayala, help me out. So they say, I don't know what I'm talking about, no problem. What does PhD stand for? Doctor of Philosophy. Don't they get one in math? PhD in math is what? Doctor of Philosophy. And chemistry. And physics. Come on, keep on. Why they got PhD after all of them? Physics, chemistry, this, whatever. All, why? It's all philosophy. It's right in your face. It's all philosophy. Because that's how it was. So they're still maintaining it. I'm telling you, bro, they're still maintaining the culture. They call it philosophy, PhD in math, PhD in chemistry, PhD in physics, PhD in biology. They're still calling it philosophy. Philosophy in math, philosophy in biology. They're still maintaining the culture. It was all under philosophy. It was the Europeans that separated it. It wasn't separate. It wasn't taught like this. The way it's taught today, 20 years ago, 30 years ago, 40 years ago, 50, 60 years ago, it's not how it's taught. It wasn't taught that way in just elementary schools. Math, over here, biology, chemistry, physics. It wasn't taught like that. Philosophy. Philosophy. And you were taught what? The basis of the law. It was philosophy. It wasn't separated. The 7 quarts. You understand the cosmic scheme? So they're maintaining some of that. Question. Mike? 1, 2, or 1, 2?
It's philosophy from Sophia.
Yes.
From Gnostic studies, from Noah.
Yes.
Basically, a lot of what I guess Christianity does is tries to suppress the Gnostic knowledge. That knowledge, they want believers, not knowers. So if you're studying philosophy, you're studying knowing.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Now, and I know you said Christianity because that's what you used to say.
I know it's probably those other things.
Yeah, I know it's because, that's what they stole that from you and they misrepresented it as Christianity. They took your title. I've done this about 1,000 times already. Maybe not that 1,000, maybe 200. Over 200 times I must have given this lesson. A period of 10 years. What's that? Class. Are you a class? Are you a class? Are you a class? Are you a class?
No.
Are you a Christian? Are you a class? Are you a Christian? Are you a class? Are you a Christian? I'm saying one and the same thing. The sound shift. I just shifted the sound. I just shifted the sound. I just shifted the sound. Class. Christian. Class. Christ. Class. Christ. I just shifted the sound. That's all I did. I'm doing this way so it can sink in. I gotta have it sink into you. Class. Christ. Same word, fam. Just different pronunciation. Sound shift. All right? A class is one, as a title, it's used as a title, is one who is illuminated. The class is the oil. The word anoint means to smear with oil. So the anoint or class is the oil that is secreted in the brain. So class is a biochemical word. Class or Christ, Christianity is a biochemical word. The Europeans stole it, and that's culture bandits. They stole your title. And you calling them your title. Howdy, one of the highest titles you can never. I mean, you're telling them they're not this, but you. And, all right, this is what you're doing. All right, you're saying they're not the white man, but then you call them Christians. I'm you said that they're not white, they're not sovereign, but you just gave them a sovereign title. You said they're Christians, though. You said that they're class, that they're illuminated, that they're Illuminati, that the oil is secreted in their brain, that they are, that's what you call them. You're saying when you said they're Christians, that's, you gotta understand. What they did was they distorted the word and applied a connotative meaning to take the power from it. So they claim it, meaning those who know are in control know this meaning. They know this. They misrepresent what it means to you, get you to call them that, right? Which means that they strip the power from the word by suppressing its etymology and placing a connotative meaning of it to suppress its power. So that you will not comprehend its biochemical meaning and function. They can't be Christians. Even if they wanted to, they can't be. They can't be. They can't be. It's the carbon, the class, the oil, the sun stimulates the melatonin and serotonin in the brain. Neuromelanin. Now we're talking neuromelanin. All right? Or carbon in the brain. Either neuromelanin or carbon in the brain. And there is a branch of chemistry called organic chemistry. Organic chemistry deals with 1 million carbon combinations. Talk to me, fam. 666. All right. It's carbon 12. Found it all throughout the universe, throughout the earth. Carbon 12. All right, here we go. This is what Cameron wanted you to do. All right, here we go. 666. 6 electrons, 6 neutrons, 6 photons. So carbon 12 is made up of 6 electrons, 6 neutrons, and 6 photons. And carbon is the basis of all life. Melanin is carbon. We just use the word melanin, but it's carbon. It's carbon. And the sun was the source of light. When I was substitute, European male who has a PhD in biology, but he taught in high school, taught freshman high school science with a PhD in biology. I was his assistant. I remember standing in the back of the class, and there the section we were on photosynthesis. And he said, which was not in the textbook, but he said was not in the textbook. He said, I had my head down, and he said, melanin is to black people, quoting him. Melanin is to black people is what photosynthesis is to plants. I was shocked. I was shocked. He's a scientist. He's a biologist. He's dealing with the truth of what things are. I'm like, whoa. He telling me he's saying this? I already knew this, but I'm like, whoa. Now, he drew an analogy. Melanin is to black people, that's the analogy, melanin is to black people what photosynthesis is to chlorophyll. Sink that in, y'all. He tied that process to us. They dealing with the science of it. We dealing with belief. They deal with knowing. They deal with Gnosticism. We deal with belief. I discovered in writing and researching for the Illuminati book, which came out in April 2016, that billions of dollars, billions, has been spent over the past 25 years in biochemical research tied to melanin. 25 billion. You think this man going to spend that much finance and research for something that's useless, which ain't, that you produce naturally? Class. They're one of the research that's in my book, Illuminati book. There's a university, the University of Minnesota, and spent 20 years of research, was to see if they could use replace silicone batteries in cell phones with batteries that are with melanin-based batteries, because it's electrical charge. Let me continue. There was an 18-year-old boy at the time. He was 18 years old in 2014 when I was doing the research. In one of the poor area, I think, in India, there was no electricity. He was a barber. He was cutting hair with scissors. And what he did was he saw that the hair, because they have black hair, that he was able to use hair as a source of electricity. I said, oh my God. We got to be powerful. We are walking batteries. Literally walking batteries. Europeans know that. After all, they spent over $25 billion researching you. The spies, the rejected, the unwanted, are so powerful that the Europeans can't live without you. They cannot live. Hear me out. I got you. The Europeans need us to live. We don't need them to live. They take your afterbirth. They need us to survive. We don't need them to survive. That's a fact, Jack. Talk to me.
Islam, on the subject of our hair and its abilities, they might be listening, but there is a sister who has contacted me, and I think I may have talked to you about it, who has done major research in the matter of our hair. Right. She's found some ancient formations, writing, and other things that our hair stands for, like you said, besides the electricity. And she's looking for a group of Moors to come to Ohio that she can show and share this knowledge with. It's so I guess outstanding that when they had their website, they had millions of hits, and most of the hits were coming from European countries. And mysteriously, they made them shut down the website. She sent me some of the web pages, but you actually even see numbers and hieroglyphs with the hair. And she said, I'm not even giving you all of the information because you have to come. Right. And I think we did talk about it. She's taken a contingency to Ohio, to Columbus, to see exactly what this is. She said it's an amazing discovery with hair.
Wow. Thank you for that. So I just want to provide scientific information to move from the belief, move from the vague discussions about carbon, what they call melanin. It's carbon. And so you have carbon 12 which is in your brain, called neuromelanin, or carbon of the brain. And it's the neuromelanin, the sun. That's why the Europeans can't be class. I'm explaining to you that they can't be. Once you know what it is. Melanin is to black people what chlorophyll, what photosynthesis is to, chlorophyll is to plants. That's what you said. Melanin is to black people what chlorophyll is to plants. That's the analogy you drew. Write that down. I'm going to put it out. For biologists and freshmen, what who goes to high school. Melanin is to black people what chlorophyll is to plants. That's a hell of an analogy. So, why you draw that analogy about Europeans? Because they deal with knowledge, man. Brother, if you deal with science, you ain't got time to deal with that. They deal with knowledge. They want to live. They want to live. They got to deal with knowledge. They got to deal with what it is. We walk around with belief and all that dumb crap. They study it. They put billions and billions and billions into this. There's a product called MeloLens, sunglasses, which you don't need. MeloLens, coated with melanin.
Sunscreen.
Yes. It costs about 125, more. What's melatonin? Where's that made from? They use for sleeping and because that's also once again neuromelanin, sleeping, right? Neuromelanin, insight. They could never see us. They could never see like we can. They could never sin like us. Why? I ain't being prejudiced. I can take their own research and bust their bubble. Take your own research. Billions and billions and billions of dollars research in melanin. They could never ascend like us. They could never be Christ. They could never be Christ. They could never be Christian. Never be Christ. Never be Christian. Christianity is a study of what I'm talking about. I'm talking about Christianity. Christianity is a study of melanin. Christianity is a study 666. Carbon 12. This is Christianity. This is studying Christianity. This is Christianity. This is Christ. This is Christ. So you become the Christ once that we stimulate your mind. But the Christ is already in you.
So it's a study of us.
It's a study of us. Christianity is a study of us. Thank you.
Where does melatonin come from? Are they actually extracting it from us because it's not synthesized, right? They have to have to make something synthetic. You have to have some of the
absolutely, because they use it for sleeping pills,
right?
All right, and that's one of the functions of the carbon or melanin. Absolutely. So. One, they have afterbirth, which they keep.
Yeah, I was just wondering how
they keep the afterbirth. They give to us. Do they give us the afterbirth?
Yeah,
No. Yeah, but I'm saying, but I'm talking about you have to ask for it. Not something that's not a practice that they do at the hospital. Oh, here you go. Take on your afterbirth. Give you a jar. That's not a practice that they do. You have to ask for it.
Yeah.
But how many of us will ask for it, though? Right. Well, you think they're throwing it away? Oh, that's right.
No, you don't have to ask for it. They say you have to sign documents.
Right, sign, right. But I'm saying they're not going to automatically give it to you without you signing some documents or making it the point that you want it.
There is any other kind of way to extract?
You have the carbon 12 is everywhere. Carbon 12, you're looking at in soil. Carbon 12 is plentiful in the universe. It's carbon. They say melanin, it's carbon. It's carbon. If you say melanin, I don't want you to think it's not this. This is what it is. Organic chemistry, not chemistry, organic chemistry. Because it's more specific study than carbon, that's what I'm saying. Organic chemistry is a specific study of chemistry that deals with a million carbon combinations. Brother, they study this. This is serious. They got a whole branch called organic chemistry that's dedicated to studying this. But they are serious, they are focused, and they pour billions into this, brother. They are for real because they want to live. They want to live. They know they ain't you, they want to live. So they can live without you, they'll kill us off, but they can't because they need us to live. I'm keeping it real. Alright? So that's Christianity. See, it's important, family, to place the words in its proper respect because there's a whole science that's connected to it. I'm not just saying you're Christian. I'm explaining why. You gotta understand the science that's connected, what they're covering up. This is what they're covering up. So it's not just the word, it's what is the science that's connected to the word. Why did they distort it? Why would you call them Christians? Why would you call Donald Trump a Christian? I don't get it. Please, somebody. Oh, you know what? I'll sit down. Take the floor, brother. Give me one scientific reason. Take the floor. Or why you would call Donald Trump a Christian. Give me one scientific reason. I said scientific. Go ahead.
It might not be scientific, but
well, sit down then. Somebody else? You gotta sit down because you said once you say it may not be scientific, you gotta take a seat. Take a seat. If you're not coming from that, then
it's in vocabulary.
No, hear me out, brother. Once you say it may not be scientific, you gotta take a seat. Because you're not coming from, if that's not your basis, then it's belief. If you're not coming from knowing, you said, come on, follow me, bro. You said, if you're not coming from this, Gnostics. All right? Gnostic. All right? Here we go. This is science? No. This is English word for Gnostic. All right? So if you're not coming from a Gnostic perspective,
okay, no, then it is.
Then you say, well, it may not be scientific. Then you preface your statement by that. Well, yes, because you say it may not be scientific. Then you need to sit down then. Because if you're not going to explain to me how Donald Trump can scientifically be a Christian, then you need to take a seat. Because there's nothing else to discuss. I'm coming from science, fam.
I was thinking different science.
What the different science?
without knowing that.
Right. So we already know where area of discussion that we're coming from. So can Donald Trump be a Christian?
No.
Thank you. Yes, go back here. Come back. Mike, come back. I don't want you to say, when y'all leave here tonight, Abdullah Bey say Abdullah Bey gave us carbon 12, 666 is carbon 12. You can look up, you all right? He gave us the etymology, boom, 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 and there's also research that you can find. Dr. Nyala gave support of research too. She supported what I'm saying. So I ain't just talking out of my butt. They can't be Christians. What they did was they stole the word, they culture bandits, they misrepresented as a political system. That's BS. Why are they doing that? Because they're covering up what it means. You know how important this is?
And it's also surrounded with evil.
You know how important this family study is? They spend billions in this family study.
Because if we know who we truly are, we will walk in there.
Thank you.
This might be like elementary for other people, but I'm just curious to know, because this is my first class.
All right.
I've seen it in movies, and I've seen people say that that number, how you have it written, is evil. So I'm trying to wrap my head around what you just told me, that it's not evil, it means carbon.
It's carbon. All right. Were you here earlier?
No, I'm sorry, I missed that first time.
It's going back real quick. This is carbon 12, 666, 6 electrons, 6 neutrons, and 6 protons. This is the structure. This is the atomical structure of carbon 12. That's what that 666 relates to. 6 electrons, 6 neutrons, 6 protons is the atomical arrangements or structure of carbon 12. That's plenty in Earth. Plenty. And plenty in you. And you. You're walking 666. You are 666. No, you 666. You not? Carbon 12? You not? Go ahead. Question over here? Go wait for the mic.
Right here.
All right, let's go real quick before I go to you. Now, you see how the distortion damages us? Here I am teaching this lesson. She says, well, I had to do the same thing, sister. So I'm not putting you in the spot. We all had to go through the same process. Absolutely. And you see how she said, well, I'm trying to wrap my head, and I thought that, see, I was taught that 666 is evil, and I'm trying to wrap my head. See what they did to us? See how they damaged us? The fact that when you even hear the truth, you still gotta wrestle. You see how the children can develop faster, because the children ain't not gonna have this. Well, I gotta wrap my head around, because I was taught that. If you get them from young, they're not gonna have that. I had to go through the same thing. I ain't no different than her. I just been through studying longer, so I'm already past that. I'm past that. I don't have that. Trust me, I was there. Go ahead, brother. I was there. Trust me.
Yeah, right. Yeah, so the carbon 12, right? I understand the 666 and protons and neutrons. What I'm trying to really figure out is carbon 12 is that what us as people are made up of, black people?
Yeah.
Or all people?
Because no, not all people.
All right.
The carbon.
Right?
Yes, because the carbon, yes, not all people. They have little of it, but they can't. What they have is not enough for them to survive. So they got to have artificial. They got to create artificial. They got to still our afterbirth. They got to create it.
Oh yeah, my wife, she a nurse. She said some of the places the afterbirth should fall off on its own for the baby after they come out, but they take that and get the stem cells out of it. I mean, this is my first class, and like a lot of this stuff.
Okay, brother.
I've been on the website.
Tell us
a lot.
Keep telling us.
I've been on the website a lot, and then my wife studying. She a nurse, like in LPN. Right. And then my cousin, he was telling me, like, I've been having some problems with rapping. Like, this kind of like was the Taj was like Morpheus. Mm-hmm. You know, like wake up out the Matrix type of thing. So I've been in the Matrix for a long time. You know what I mean? So then when I started coming out and I started, being on YouTube, and then my cousin, he was telling me that he's Moorish. And then I started looking up some of the laws, because I was at one point I was a paralegal. So like, some of the laws, like where they say it's a law and then it's a statute. So that's where it gets like even the right to travel. And then you go back to like like these tickets and like it's all a scam. Like just for them to make
it's,
money.
Yeah, color of law. Yes, it's money collecting.
Well, not even really money because the true money is
revenue generated. They're generating revenue.
Yeah, and then
revenue generated.
I was reading some of this stuff with I was listening to some of the stuff on YouTube about House Joint Resolution 192, June 5th, 1933, when he confiscated all the land and all the gold and put out this paper.
Which is unconstitutional. And what actually is treason.
It's treason.
An act of war against the people.
So it's like...
Because the people can't satisfy a debt with a debt. So it does, it puts the people in perpetual servitude.
Like modern day slavery. So like...
It never ended.
It never ended, yeah. So but it just turned modern with the Rothschilds and Rockefeller and all that, and the public. Like how you were talking about the baby, like the babies, they get it faster. But with like my kids, they didn't understand a lot of what like I was saying. But I was telling them like Mr. Rockefeller. Mr. Rockefeller was he took his money. He took most of his money and implicated the public school system to dumb us down. He said we need a nation of, and I quote this. He said we needed a nation of workers, not thinkers. So the people that's in here obviously are thinkers. So if you came here, you made it all the way here, that you're a thinker. But
I would say so.
I've been going in and out like ever since for a while. I've been going in and out of these. Like these institutions, you know what I mean? And like, if you put me behind a locked door, that's a cage. So like, and what's going on with our natives to the south, because they kind of like inhabitants of the earth, and they just trying to make a better life for their families. They put them in cages, but they taking the kids away because they was born on this land. And they sending the people who wasn't born on this land back. And how are Europeans doing this? And they come from Europe. That doesn't make any sense.
But you already know how they're doing it. You already know how they're doing it. They're colonists. How they're doing it is they're colonized our land. They defeat us at war, took control of our Moorish sovereignty in our government. So they're doing it because they're exercising our sovereign power through our government. And they're controlling the literature in the schools. So they're doing it by promoting, through social engineering, massive ignorance. That's how they're doing it. Whereas the Americans don't know that they're Americans. Millions of the Americans who live in inner cities, the millions of Americans living in inner cities, they don't know that they're Americans. They don't know that they're Aboriginal, indigenous, and native to the land. They think they were transported, their ancestors were transported on spaceships. So the problem is that millions of the Americans don't know that they're Americans.
They're indigenous.
Right. But they're called the European. They'll say, well, Donald Trump is the American president. No, he's not. There's no such office. The office doesn't even exist. The president of Mexico is not the American president. The president of El Salvador is not the American president. The president of Costa Rica is not the American president. No one is. The office doesn't exist. Why? Answer that for me. Why doesn't the office exist?
Well, they call it. Because the Americans start way up top near Canada, all the way down.
All right. Let me see if you're going to answer. We'll get that back to you, Tamara. You're going to answer the question. Why doesn't the office, the American president, exist? Why doesn't this office exist?
Because the Americans.
You need the mic.
The Americas are much larger than the United States. They start at the top up near Canada and come all the way down through Central, or I shouldn't skip North America, Central, South America, and
But you need to clear something up, though. Back up. You need to clear something. You said the Americas are much larger than the United States. You need to clear. I need you to stop there. Stop there. I need you to think about it. The United States is not a land.
continent.
Continent and incorporation.
No, I'm saying, no.
You're talking about the United States as a corporation?
You said, like, you said, all right, this is what you said. Let me write it down on board. You said, the Americas are much, you write on the board, maybe you see, well, this is what you wrote. You said, it are much larger than the United States. What's wrong with this? There's something wrong with this. What's wrong with it? What's wrong with that?
America's slow, bro. The Americans,
United States is a corporation.
Well, United States is a corporation. That's
The camera's answering. Get back to the camera.
well, the United States is a corporation that occupies 10 square miles, 10 square miles in the district of Columbia in the territory of Washington. And the Americas consist of the continent landmass called Canada to the North America, South America, Central America, all the way to Brazil. So, and the surrounding islands. That's correct. Thank you, Brother Islam. So that is probably, I would say, a debunked statement.
Yes, because the United States is not a landmass.
Right.
Right. The United States is not a landmass. So you say the Americas are much larger than the United States.
The United States is on paper.
It's on paper. It's not a landmass. No, I'm saying it's not a landmass. So you're saying the Americas. This is land. The Americas denotes land. North, South, Central. That's usually epistemology. Central and the islands, joining islands. All right. So the Americas denote land, large body of land, large body. All right. What does this denote?
Paper.
Paper. It's not land, so it can't be. The Americas can't be much larger than the United States because this is not a landmass. If you say, well, the Americas is much larger than China. The Americas is much larger than Nigeria. The Americas is much larger, but this is not a land. You're comparing bodies of land, large body of land with something on paper. It's not a landmass. You can't compare these as though this is a landmass. The United States has no length. It has no longitude, no latitude. It has no geography, no airway. It has no body of lands and waters. It has no hills, no mountains. Doesn't have rivers. Why? It's on paper. Thank you. That's why. And this is very important. I couldn't go past this, Sam. This is too vital. This is too vital. We cannot go past this. We keep giving them life. We're giving them life. We're not calling it what it is. We're calling it what it's not. We keep giving it life. This gives it life. Can't give it life. All right? This is artificial. This is not. This is real. Because this denotes land. This doesn't. Large body of land. North, Central, South America, and the islands. This doesn't know any geography, any land, any body of earth, any waters, mountains, hills, anything.
Board of directors.
Yeah, well, yes. But not land.
Yeah.
Not land.
Yeah, I'm talking about
Not land. Homeland Security, FBI, I don't care about them. Because I'm not doing anything criminal. I got the right to teach my people. They're colonists. They're colonists. They know they're colonists. I didn't got to tell they're colonists. They wear our fezzes, not only in secret, but also in parades. Take my fez off. Stop using my boys' names. Because they use our Moorish names for the temples. The shrine temples, Mexican temples. Take my tarboos off. The Scottish Rite Orders wear our tarbooses. 7 different colors, chakras. They wear our tarbooses. So they wear our tarbooses and our pheasants. And they don't know who we are? Yeah, right. You must be struck in the head. You don't think they know who you are? We are. And you must be a fool.
I had a question though. They say that there was
Who say?
Oh, well, in history or in school they'll teach you that there was 5.
That's clear.
Yes, sorry. In school they'll say there was 500,000 Africans that came here as slaves
I read 10 million in their books.
Well, they'll say like 5 million in Brazil, so they'll.
Oh, I got you.
Yeah,
I got you.
In North America, they'll say 500,000. So,
right.
How many actually did come here? Do you think?
Our family, I don't know. I know you say how many. I don't know how many were actually transported.
But it was some during the transatlantic slave trade.
The story of this massive, I can challenge unequivocally, is this massive transportation of our people. They didn't have the power. We were seizing their ships. See, what they tell what they're leaving out in the story is our power during that time period. See, because we don't know about the wars that took place during that time period. We don't know about the seizing of ships and the tribute payments. If you analyze this in this context, that whole story falls apart.
They can't show us no ships.
That's what I always been looking for. Because the so-called white man, white is a color. So they like to show off.
No, it's not. You said white's a color. Go ahead. White's not a color.
But they like to show off. Like, when they have an exhibit or something, dinosaurs, this, that, and third. They'll show you some chains that you can make anywhere, some rusty chains. But show us the slaves, they like to put that on display. Like, everything they do, they like to put it on display. So I don't believe that. I just really don't believe that so many of us. I believe that some of us came, but not all of us. So they generalize us as African American when we all didn't come from Africa.
Brother, what you want to do is you want to strengthen your argument. Don't use belief. You got to strengthen your argument.
I stand on it.
No. I'm saying you're saying I don't believe that. That weakens your argument. You really aren't saying anything by saying I don't believe that. You need to say I know that not to be true based on my research and evidence. You don't want to ever present, particularly when we talk about this area, I don't believe that. I'm just following you, I'm just trying to be offering you what's it called? The sound criticism. Sound criticism.
I get it.
All right.
I take no.
So and that's a habit. I know that, but we got what you want to get to. We're gonna get you out of that habit of saying I don't believe. Never say that. Never, ever say that. If you're making a point, never say I don't believe that.
It sounds like emotion based off emotion.
Right. I know that to be true or not true based on X, Y, Z evidence. Always come like that. Never, I don't believe that. One thing you will never hear me come up here and say, fam, I'll never say I don't believe that. What I do, I'll be picking it up down. Is there any evidence, documentation? I don't say I don't believe that because that weakens your position. All right? That's all. I'll move on past that.
I just recently got a couple of tickets, and I recently also ran across some YouTube research by Moors, African Americans, and Caucasians in reference to the UCC1. In the YouTube videos, they explain I need to change my birth certificate status. And I'm wondering what's your take on that?
You need to change. You say you need to change your birth certificate status.
Right.
All right. You want to correct the status. The process of correcting, as you say, birth certificate status, and what she means, birth certificate status. As a commodity or a stock. So you no longer want to be a stock or commodity. All right? So what process addresses this commodity or stock status that you are? It's called nationalization. Is the process. Nationality would be the identity. Nationality is the identity. So since you said that, let me explain the difference. Nationality,
being a part of the nation,
is the identity. Like, you say, well, what's your nationality? What is your national identity? Nationalization is the process. The only reason why we have to go through this process, fam, is because we are classified as black, Negro, colored in the United States Census Bureau. That's only right. Because nationalization doesn't make you a Moor. Come on, temples. Where the Moor science temples at? Where they at? Where the green sheep at? Where they at? Where they at? Because they misrepresented this. They misrepresented. The only way you can be a Moor is that you got to come to the Moor science temple. Oh, something wrong with that statement.
exactly.
So I'm explaining here what nationality is. This is your ancestry, identity, lineage, pedigree identity, bloodline identity. All right? The nationalization is to, as you say, correct the birthright status. You're already a Moor. The issue is that you are classified as black or Negro colored black in the United States Census Bureau. Because you're classified as that from birth at hospitals, schools you went to, jobs you went to, you check black off, you have to correct that status through paperwork because you're going to present that to your job or school you go to. You got to correct that status. All right? So that process is called nationalization. We wouldn't need this if we were never colonized. We wouldn't walk around saying nationalization. I got to nationalize. I got to nationalize. Why are we saying that? Why are we saying, I got to nationalize? I got to nationalize. Why are we saying that? Because a people has been colonized, and the European colonizers, the Spanish, the English, the Dutch, the French, the Germans, the Portuguese, defeated us at war, a series of wars, took over our trade, and made us prisoners of war in our own land.
So what should I say?
All right? I'm just explaining. All right. So there is a process for paperwork so that you can correct your status at your job or hospital and so forth, schools where you're going. All right? No, you said it correctly. No, there's nothing. You said it correctly. You said it throughout this class. I'm just explaining. I'm explaining. It is the birthright status. It's the birth certificate status. The birth certificate status makes you a commodity and stock on the stock market.
just going to the vital statistics and letting them know that I need to change that?
Right. You can, there's paperwork, declaration of your nationality on paper that you would send to your job so that the status can be corrected at your job or the schools you went to. All right? Because the status has to be correct. You have to notify them that you're not black and that you want that status to be corrected. That's what the process. And that's what the nationalization does. It puts you, what it does, it makes you whole again, brings you back into the constitutional form of government. All right? Questions? I don't understand what you're saying out there. I need more clarity. So what are you not clear about? I'm not done with her, please. I'm not done, but please give her the mic. She's not clear on something. I'm looking at her. I'm looking at her face. I'm reading her. I'm reading her face, not what she's saying. Not what she's saying is how she's looking.
I think she would be able to give her a step-by-step.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
All right, come on.
I'm saying I want to start there. Birth certificate, vital statistics, then I want to go to Social Security, then I want to go to the school. I want to make sure that I'm hearing what you're saying.
Yes.
Go individually to each place and let them know that I need to change
you're gonna have paperwork that you're gonna send in certified mail.
Okay, so
right.
Where do I get that paperwork?
All right, to talk to Dr. Nahayat and sit back. Here you go. In the right place.
I'm sorry, I didn't understand what you were saying.
That's what she's saying.
I'm homed in with here.
No, I'm with you. But do you comprehend what I say? Do you comprehend this now? Do you understand it? Do you comprehend what I'm saying? All right, good. Go ahead, brother. Go ahead, Tamara.
So basically, the birth certificate, Social Security card, and everything that certificate, those are instruments that were created to be placed on the stock market to put us in a commodity status. So those things was created as fraud instruments. So you don't correct the fraud. You don't have to correct a Social Security fraud. You don't have to correct a birth certificate fraud. You don't have to correct a vital statistic fraud. What you have to correct is who you are and know what you are and where you stand on this land. And that's not as Negro, black, colored, or African American.
And that also applies to the driver's license?
Driver's license is a fraud.
It's driver license is an excise tax. Only applies to corporations. Doesn't apply to natural persons.
Correct. So after the lecture, we can sit down with you and go in further detail regarding that process. It's easy, but you have to understand it in your heart first before you even attempt to want to put it on paper. Because you have to know who you are and stand on who you are and be who you already are by birth.
Now, the birth certificate is a security instrument. Money is being generated on the stock market with this instrument. That finance belongs to you. Money is being generated from this. This is a financial instrument. It's a security. What they do is they'll take the information that they generate from your mother. All right, at the hospital, the time of your birth. And then from there, they make it a security instrument that they put on the stock market and generate money over the period of even after your transition. All right, that's what this is. This doesn't, see, they lie to you and say, well, this is proof of your, it is proof of your birth, so they're not lying. Let me clarify. They're not lying by saying this is proof of your birth. You're born on paper. You're born twice in the same room. Now, hear me out. I'm going to explain myself. You're born twice. The first birth, birth, is when you came out of your mother's womb. That's the first birth. The second birth, birth, B-E-R-T-H, is this. So it does record your B-E-R-T-H, birth, on the high seas. So they transferred averaging law of the high seas onto the land and created a certificate of security. So you were born twice on the same day. Born twice in the same day. B-I-R-T-H, B-E-R-T-H. Born twice in the same day. Born out of your mother's womb and born on paper. So this here does not. This is not the birth of your coming out of your mother's womb. This is birth on paper. Are you clear on that? All right. Okay, all right. Go ahead, brother.
I was wondering, about, I've been studying some of that. The stock market and how they use, they'll say, well, Wall Street.
Bloomberg's report.
The Bloomberg report, where it say, my birth certificate is saying that I'll spend over a lifetime this amount of money, because I'm sure I spent at least a couple of $1 million with doing the trade of things going on, just like a baby, they did a study. Some studies that they watched that I watched too, because they said a baby from 1 year old to 5 costs around about $100,000. So they using that so they can because
you said spend though. You spend. You're not
if I'm working, if I work. And then I use the so-called money to buy Pampers for my babies and stuff like that. That's how they use the security, saying that's how you.
No, that's not how it's done, bro.
That's not what it's based
on. No. Brother, this is already on the stock market. People purchase this. This is bidded on this. They have Wall Street. Well, this will be on Wall Street. That's what this is. Right. It's not based on what you're spending, bro. It's already, this money is sold on the stock market. People are bidding for this. And they're purchasing. They had nothing to do with you going to the store, buying baby Pampers. It had nothing to do with that, bro.
So how?
It's a security that's sold on the stock market.
So can you break down the security then for me?
All right.
Thank you. That's all.
Are you familiar with stocks and bonds?
A little bit.
All right. Tell me a little bit. Tell me what you know about stocks and bonds. So because he might be able to answer his own question. Once I know what he knows about stocks and bonds, then go ahead. Tell me what you know about stocks and bonds.
I know. That's why I said.
So tell me what you said. All right. I asked you.
Bit.
Tell me what you know. Tell me a little bit you know about stocks and bonds, brother.
Like a stock is sometimes cattle. I mean, it got a couple of definitions. I looked up in the dictionary, cattle. So,
I'm talking about stock market. What do you know about the stock market? Tell me the little you know about the stock market.
That it rises and falls.
What else?
That they trade commodities up there.
Thank you, fam. Thank you, bro. Then I said you can answer his own question.
Yep.
Thank you, fam.
I'm
saying that's what this is, fam. That's all that's what this is. They created security. You are a commodity, but they have to have a commodity connected to you. You are that. So this is a security instrument. Thank you. You said it. You said it.
One question. So how do they make money off of that?
They're selling it. It's sold on this. No. All right. You have the Bloom. You watch the stock market anytime?
Sometimes, yeah.
All right. Well, they're selling. You said how they make money. Well, don't people buy stocks?
It's investment.
It's an investment. So that's how you ask me, that's how they're making money.
Yeah, but I see it in products. When I watch products you're the product. You're the product. I'm almost there.
Almost there.
Everybody in here might not get what how I'm thinking.
I got you.
Because like I watched one of the pill companies. They stock started at $43. Right. That was 5 years ago. Now it's trading at $320.
All right.
So if you bought it 5 years ago for $40, and then now it's $300 something.
That's how this works, bro.
That's
how
you
explain it.
But
I
wonder. But they this was the same company that like I was getting my diabetes medicine off of. That's how, and they changed all my medicines to that one company.
You're explaining a process you're explaining how this works.
So how they make it off of us? Then I don't get that. That's the part that I don't get. How they making money off of us? Because are we the product?
You're the product.
Okay.
I'm gonna say you're the product. You're the product. You have a value. You are a day old. You're a day old. You have a future earning. You're a day old. It starts there, a day old. And security is created. Then you have a future value. So you being a day old, you have what? 40 years of work to work. 40, you get old, so you have it. So they're what? There's different types of stocks. So this matures. They know that you a day old, it's going to mature. So they're projecting that based on how old you are, projecting how long you're going to live. They're maturing. And so you're being a product, if you're working every day, when you get old, work age, that's what they invest in. You're the product. They never ended. I got you. They never ended slavery. Slavery never ended. That's a lie. That's a bold-faced lie. Slavery never ended. Go ahead.
What I was going to add is just what you're saying. The fact of the matter now, they're also projecting based on your so-called race or nationality, your likelihood to end up in the prison pipeline system, which will also have its own commodities and value based on you being in the prison, industrial complex and working for slave labor. So they're looking at a lot of things: your race, your sex, all these things.
But that race is fictional.
Yeah, the so-called race. But I'm saying
black, white, blade, all that. That's
right. It is fictional, but they're looking at right, and they're looking at the likelihood of you ending up in the prison industrial complex and what they can get out of you, because that's real cheap labor, like 39 cents, 25 cents an hour, and you putting out stuff more so than they can get over in Asia, and on top of that, they charging you. When you do get out, they're still going to charge you for being in their system as if they were taking care of you.
Yes.
And can I add this? This is like way back. But way back when they were talking about the ships, we came on, it dropped, it just dropped into my spirit. I always feel like things come from above. And I said many of us did come on ships, but we came on spaceships. We didn't come on slave ships.
And that's true.
So they know it. We came on, many of us came here on spaceships. That's true. Not slave ships.
Okay, look at me.
I kind of lost my mind.
I'm not. I thought they did.
No.
Us. No, you know about the mothership connection and cosmic stuff and all that. I guess I'm dating myself, but no. George Clinton and all that been told us about this.
With that music.
No,
I
was just thinking that we inhabited this earth, this our earth, and they came from somewhere else.
No.
Oh, so
you know where they came from?
Somewhere else.
You know where they came from?
Make them.
Not cool. You know where they came from?
No.
A touch tube.
Yeah, science project.
Yep.
It's called in vitro fertilization. They do that today. They crossbreed the egg of an Asiatic woman with a chimp. That's done today, man. That can be done today, bro. But I'm saying it can be done today. Can be done today. It's done. They can be done today.
It was done 20 years ago with that shit. I seen it with that shit on 2020.
Well, that's where they came from.
Yeah, I see that.
Their mother is the Moabite woman. Their father is the chimp. That's where they came from.
In reverse. Quick question.
Well, the planet, the apes are controlling the planet. What it means, the planet apes are controlling the planet.
So when they take money out of your Social Security every time you get paid. Now,
The Social Security was set up as a trust account, national trust account.
but that's really our money, and they take it.
Well, of course.
So
Voluntary trust.
if you get a nationality card, does that stop?
No, you have that knowledge stops it, not the card. The card doesn't stop it. The knowledge stops it. No, that's what I got to clarify because getting that card does not stop it. All right, the nationality card deals with the status. Once again, with the sisters, going back to what the sisters saying, the nationality card is evidence of your status. Because remember, you got millions or more classified as black today.
Yeah.
So what you're saying is that you're not one of those millions or more. We're the same bloodline. People that next door. Same.
It's the knowledge. Yeah.
I'm saying you're no different than them as far as bloodline. The difference is you have different status. So you say you don't want to be treated like them.
Where?
That you have a different status. Same bloodline.
So it's the knowledge.
Same bloodline. You're not different than them. Same bloodline. It's that you have corrected your status. All right. You now have standing in law, whereas somebody next door doesn't. That's it. That's the only difference. The difference is that you're now standing in law and they don't. That's it. Whereas the black codes can be used on them. All right. And then you're challenging that that since you know who you are, and you don't want them to use the black codes on you anymore. Right? And you're aware that they've been using the black codes to oppress our people. And you're challenging that. And you have first now have standing. And then you have that standing gives you a leg to make a argument in the proper venue. And apply the Constitution and the Treaty of Peace and Friendship for your defense.
I live in.
Yeah, no one of them. Push it up. Push the button.
Push it up. Yes.
Well, I had I was in Atlanta for a while, and then they had Moorish temple, like how you was talking earlier about the temple. You got to come to the temple and this and that and all that. And me and my wife had it just didn't feel right down there, in Atlanta.
But they're misrepresenting the temple, bro. I mean, it's not.
And I felt that
misrepresentation of Dual. They misrepresent Dual fam. I mean, you got to go to the temple to be a Moor. Brother, that is misrepresentation.
And I felt that, what I was seeing on YouTube was different from what I was seeing on. But what I was seeing with most of the times, I don't know all. I'm a baby in this, so it was that didn't sound right what they was doing. Like Todd, I follow some of his YouTube channel, some of his lectures, like how you lecture, and what they were saying wasn't the same.
What were they saying? Give me something that was said.
It was this satanic chanting on the
what is satanic chanting?
What
is satanic chanting?
When it came on, it just sounded.
What are you saying? So is that? Are you implying, or by saying satanic chanting, are you implying that that's something evil? Are you implying that they're joining us some quote unquote evil spirit.
No.
I'm asking you, I need you to tell me. What do you mean by satanic chanting? What do you mean?
Like kind of like evil chanting, not like satanic. So it was like.
All right, hold on, stop there. Are you defining
satanic
chanting as evil chanting? Are you defining satanic chanting as evil
only
chanting?
from what I learned from being ignorant? Only from what I learned from being ignorant.
Because I need to know, because. All right.
You understand? Only from what I learned, man. Because I did a few music scores before. So like the soap operas, you know when the bad guy about to come, they play that music. You understand? They play that music with them. You know when to put that music on. So when I was going on to it was and some of the Moorish.
That's the AQM.
That was, and I was like, oh.
Oh, it's a slip check though.
That's the first two letters of the AQM.
So it was putting something.
Look up AQM.
And he put it.
Yeah, that's what I was
That's
saying.
a power there.
That was what I was saying.
That's a vibration.
That's a vibration chant.
Yeah, it is.
The word satanic, Satan. Egyptian is Satan. Satan, set. All right. Why is this related to darkness? Why is this Satan related to darkness?
Because when the sun sets.
Come on, fam. Come on, get ahead, fam. Tell me.
I know all about this schematic stuff.
I'm here.
Okay. Because, when the sun sets is what they're talking about, I feel like. Well, I don't know. And then,
so when the sun sets, you see what?
darkness. But they shouldn't equate darkness with evil.
No, I know.
Exactly.
That's the misrepresentation of Satan. Because they're misrepresenting Satan.
And then it also comes from the word
that.
soot means black.
Soot.
Like,
Yeah. Soot.
yeah.
And then set as the sunset.
Hatshepsut.
Hatshepsut.
And
Come on, bro. Go ahead.
Tar too, like Nefertari. Tar is black. The same kind of thing.
So we talking about. So all right, let me explain. When you're dealing with catastrophe or eclipses, calamity and things of that. There, so when you have, say, when it's like the sunset, you see darkness. When you have a moon, a solar eclipse, darkness. So, connotatively speaking, negative things were applied to that, because you get darkness and it's cold and it's stormy and, coming and people running and that's all it is, brother. That evil, all right, the concept of evil is coming from what I'm talking about. They're calling it's not evil. It's just a natural cycle when you're having eclipses or you have the Venus conjunction, Venus and Mars conjunction. When you have a Venus and Mars conjunction, you have catastrophe. All right, so you would apply, if you're going to talk about mythology, it really was cold and people were shivering and there was darkness was upon the earth, and that's all that is, brother. We got to get out of this spookism stuff, bro.
Yeah.
They removed the knowledge, bro. They removed the astronomy of it, and that's all that is, family. So the satanic chanting, there's no, that concept of evil is distorted, bro. It's no evil. You have low vibration, high vibration. You have different cycles. that brings about, you would have sunrise, sunset. Different cycles that brings about all right, for instance, let's say the Nile River floods, but it overfloods. It's too much. Then, so mythologically speaking, that would be some evil. Oh, the Nile River, the river's flooded, and the crops were destroyed, and
the house is flooded.
That's all it is, man. That's all that is, man. I'm just trying to just break it down, matter of factly, bro. And so the Europeans, once you remove the knowledge of the astronomy and don't let the people know its origin and what it is, people are so filled with this spookism and this evil, and brother, that's no.
And to go into the sacredness, sorry, the question was, can you go into the sacredness of Om?
All right, yes. You did a good job, brother. That's fine. Let me sit down, let the brother do his thing. I got to bring the devil down too.
It's in you, because you got a higher and lower self. You make good decisions, bad decisions, and you don't got to live with it.
84, 40, 30, 432. Yeah. You do this. 84, 440. All right.
You might need to put the HD at the end.
Oh, it hurts. Thank you. Hurts. Thank you. Hurts. All right. Now, the sacredness of your own is sound of the natural sound of the universe, all right, being in harmony with the natural sound. And the frequency, all right, that sound has emits is 432 is a natural sound, the frequency of the earth. 430, 440 is artificial. The Germans made this up in 1800s. In 1880 and beyond, they created a natural sound that creates chaotic thinking, unbalance. This creates balance. So the sacredness of the is the balance that it aligns the chakras. The 440 disaligns the chakras. The 432 aligns the chakras.
You said the Germans?
Yeah, the Germans. Yeah, this is artificial. This ain't real. This is artificial. They make this up to this. All right. The Germans, let me explain it. The Germans studying the Tibetan monks, studying the Bhagavad Gita. The Bhagavad Gita is based on ancient science of sound. All right. We use sound. Sound and pineal gland resonance. The snake, the cobra, asp, the Leviathan, the Uranus with the cobra placed at the brow where the pineal gland is. The emphasis of in Vietnam, you have the huge statues with 7 snakes emitting, all right, from their back. All that relates to 7 chakras, all right, Medusa, all right, snake, all right, enlightenment. So all that what the Germans did in studying that, they studied the Bhagavad Gita, not from a worshiping, from a scientific perspective. The Germans became the world leaders in mind, science, technology. The Germans took ancient mind, science, technology and used it for war. So their whole thing was destruction, killing, war. And so they used this ancient knowledge. So what they did was they wanted to control the minds. So the Germans created, understanding a natural sound of the universe. They created an artificial sound, A440, to control minds. So they spent a lot of finance and resources in mind technology, mind science technology. The comic characters, X-Men, Marvel characters, were based off of the German experiments on mind. That's not made up. We can do that. brother, we were masters of this, bro. The only ones that were close to us would be the Germans. We were masters of this. The Germans spent a lot of finance in this, bro. They were no joke. The Germans were no joke at this, bro. They used that to create human war machines. Flash, X-Men. That's what they used. That's not made up, bro. That's not made up. That's how those characters came to be on TV and things. Because it's based off of real experiments that the Germans were using on humans to create human war machines. Not to free the world. Not to advance the world. To what? Put the world in slavery. War. Destruction. They're about war and destruction. War and destruction. War and destruction. And using ancient technology for war and destruction. What are we about? Creation. Building. Education. War and destruction. War and destruction. They gotta go, bro. Out of power. They gotta get out. They gotta get out of power, bro. Because as long as they're in power, war and destruction. 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 As long as they're in power. Because the reason why I'm saying that, they built finances, their whole finance industry is based off of that. They would have to destroy their whole financial industry is based on war and destruction, ignorance, point of man ignorance, war and destruction. Their whole, for years. So what, they gonna stop that?
No.
All right.
No, the other one.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, that's gonna get the arm sound.
Tibetan bowls.
Yeah, that's gonna get the arm sound.
Those are Tibetan bowls, yeah. There you go. Arm sound.
One day the European would be about love.
Their whole industry is based on war and destruction, fam. Pathology. War and destruction, pathology. They generate money, finance from that. Pathology, war and destruction.
That's a healing sound. This is
So let's go this to the healing sound quick. You hear the you hear it? You hear the Give me a minute. You gonna listen to it.
We'll listen to it later. But that's the arm sound. I just want to let you know that's not negative like you said.
No.
It's healing in this.
Yes.
They want to keep us from. I'm a former pastor, and
Get on the mic, please.
Oh, sorry. Wherever the mic is.
Who got the mic?
Where's the mic?
Where's the mic? It's getting hot.
I just want to say that as a former pastor, apostle, whatever they call me, consecrated me, I want to say that a lot of things that we taught were based on dogma to keep people in a state of fear and in their lower energy, in their lower chakras. It was waking up and being told in a spiritual out-of-body experience to stop lying and tell the truth. And some lies are not purpose. You lie when you omit things, just like when you commit lies. And so if you are being a Paul parrot and repeating things that people told you to believe without investigating the validity of these things for yourself, like you're afraid to go outside the book. You even got people that are afraid to read the book of Revelation in the book because they said, they're afraid of the things that are there. And revealing, apocalypse means revealing. They're afraid that things are going to be revealed. And somebody is afraid that we are going, and we know the truth. And the truth does make us free. So I'm just telling you that a lot of things that, and if they tell you don't, then I say run to it and do it.
My grandma used to say that.
The opposite.
Oh, you need to listen to your grandmother.
Yeah, I did. A lot of my knowledge came from.
Okay, I have to go back to what we were talking about earlier.
You got the sister over here had a hand on. So let's, yes, she did.
Oh.
Now to repeat. She did.
And while we're passing this around, just want y'all not to forget that we have some vegan food over there, y'all.
It's free.
No.
Come on, brother.
No.
Come on. It's love in there.
Right.
I just wanted to piggyback off of the speaker here in reference to
We got vegan food over here.
Use money back.
Right. In reference to the mind control, there is a movie that might help you. I'm not sure what your name is. Naeem, how you doing? I'm Cece. There's a movie called Push. P-U-S-H. Push. In that special features section of the movie, it breaks down the MK Ultra mind control. So if you have an original copy of that movie, if you click on
I noticed they edit a lot of stuff out of movies sometimes. They even tell you that.
Right, but this particular movie, since you had asked about the mind control and he was giving examples of it, when you go into the special features of that movie, you'll see how the Germans experimented on soldiers and different people.
They was the first people to know how much blood. The Germans was the first people to know how much blood it took. The Nazis had doctors. People don't probably didn't understand that, and nurses. They was one of the first people to know, modern people, I'm not saying like ancient Egyptians, how much blood it took for your heart to stop beating, how much blood loss, and then the fluoride in the water, too much fluoride in the water is kind of put you in the it helped it, like if we was all going to revolt against a slave master, they had learned to use chemicals such as fluoride in put it in the water as a sedative where you would just stay in the vegetative stage. Like, chemicals play a big part in the destruction of all of us. Us being in, cigarettes and alcohol and nicotine and I was just at the farmer's market down at Brandon Terminal, and I always thought you needed a liquor license to sell liquor. But if you own your distillery, you're allowed to sell it out of your bar, but you're only your brand, your bar, it just was a lot. The man had just told me, and I was like, I never seen this nowhere. And he said you can sell it at farmer's market, out of your bar, or directly from a distillery. I should have brought the bottle with me just to show everybody, and I'm like, and I had bought a bottle just so, and not to drink, because I don't drink, but just to show like us as Moorish Americans, how they using like the laws, like the loopholes in the law to keep us with the cigarettes and the liquor and all that. And it's just like, it freaked me out. Like, but my biggest thing is jurisdiction. Like, that's what I always hated people telling me what to do. Like, and my daughter came home and she had a school project. I mean, I'm kind of all over the place, but she kind of like said,
this is your last point.
My last point. Okay.
30 seconds.
30 seconds. My last point. She said, Hitler was a bad man, Dad. And I said, did you ask him why did he do it? You just don't wake up one day and just say, I'm going to just kill all these people.
10 seconds.
That's it. I had to tell her.
I had to put time on it, brother. No, you good.
Hitler wasn't that bad if he was killing Europeans.
Well, I don't advocate. Let me.
That's wrong.
We're on camera, so we want to qualify that. I don't advocate killing anyone.
Anybody,
yeah.
Peace.
Okay, I should say that he was trying to nationalize.
So I'm saying on camera. I'm putting a caveat. We're not advocating killing anyone. We're not advocating killing anyone. We're not going to support that, condone that. killing anyone.
I just wanted to always know why he did it.
You know what I'm saying? I have to put that out there for you on camera. You know, we don't want to. If it was a great man and he could have killed, you know, we don't.
Oh no.
I
just wanted to know why he did it.
He did it to feed his people.
Hear me out, brother.
That's it.
I'm putting a caveat out there so that the House of Being Awakened Mind, all right, would not be known for that, pushing that. We're not advocating killing anyone. I'm saying. I have to tell you. I'm going to say what I need to say. I understand. All right, so we're going to move on. We're not going to talk on that. I'm not going to talk on that. Let's move on. I'm not going to talk on that. We'll have somebody else talk on it, but I'm not. All right. Now, July 4th just passed. Was last week? No, you don't.
Week before last?
I don't celebrate it.
That's someone asked a question?
No, I just said week before last.
Oh, week before last, all right. So, July 4th. Now, most people, because of social engineering, think that July 4th is a European holiday. They associate it with this is the day of the Europeans' independence. You know, they have the red, white, and blue, and then this July 4th has nothing to do with us. They'll say that's the white man's holiday, and this is his independence. This is his country. He brought us over here with slave ships and made us work for the country. They built this country with slave labor. You know, we hear that Afrocentric folks say that. Like, they built, you're right, you know. So why are we going to spend 4th of July, you know, honoring, you know, this European who put us in slavery, and, you know, this country got nothing to do with us, and which is not true, type thing. Now, this July 4th is an Egyptian New Year. What you'll learn is that Sirius is at the center of a lot of what they do. A lot of what they do is Sirius at the center of this. They give tremendous honor to Sirius. The calendar that you use all your life, is based on, it's an Egyptian calendar. It's based on the Sirius being. So this year, July 4th, is the Hyogo rising of Sirius. And that Hyogo, so you have the sun and Sirius are in conjunction with 0 degrees of separation. In April, Sirius begins to go into what they call the duat, the underworld. It can't be seen. It's behind the sun. The underworld, it can't be seen. The duat can't be seen. That's all. It's behind the sun for 70 days. All right? That's called the duat, or the underworld, in the Egyptian mythology. Mary and Joseph from Jesus, Mary and Jesus. This is Peru, and this is Egyptian name. I.e. All right, that's the Egyptian name. So Mary, that means water, is a set. So you have a set in her room, which is the sun and Sirius. So this picture that we've seen all our lives, the European image, is actually been Europeanized from a set in her room. And a set, Sirius, the dog star, personified by a set in her room, is the sun. So the sun and Sirius rise at the same time, bringing about the flooding of the Nile River. There are buildings in Europe that are aligned with the helical rising of Sirius. Europeans take this seriously. This is huge. This is huge. This is a focal point for them. Even the calendar that they use. Because Sirius is the lifeline of the Nile Valley civilization. Without this, there's no Nile Valley civilization. Don't exist. Why? Because the soot was needed for the plants to grow. You needed that fertilization. So, with that, the rising of the star Sirius coincided with the flooding of the Nile River. So a calendar was made. Meticulous calculations were made to predict the annual flooding. You have an instrument that was built called the diameter. And you see the diameter on buildings all over the country. On hats, on people's cars, people's jackets. You've seen it all your life. They call it the cross. The cross is an Egyptian measurement device. Not something to worship. They stole your stuff again, they're culture bandits. They have no culture that they develop. What they're calling their culture is your culture. What they're calling their measurement instrument is your measurement instrument, because they're saying it's a cross. So the tau, all right, this is in the shaft, and it's notches. There's notches, all right. The notches let you know, well, it's overflood or over inundation or flood, which that the crops will be destroyed, and there are meticulous records that were kept to predict the annual flooding. And that's what this is. It's a diameter. So July 4th has everything to do with you. They chose that day to harmonize with the energy of Sirius. Just like Lincoln chose the third Thursday of November. The third Thursday. Why the third Thursday of November? Why did Lincoln move it from October to the third Thursday of November with a presidential proclamation? Why the third Thursday? Why not the first Thursday? Why the third Thursday? Why? From November 21st to December 21st is when you have the rising of Orion. Orion, in Greek they'll call it Osiris. Egyptian is what? Osar. So Orion, the rising of Osar, or Osiris, or Orion, which is a constellation of 3 stars, very bright stars, that rises between November 21st to December 21st. On December 24th, the 3 kings, Orion, the 3 wise men, Orion, the 3 pole stars, Orion. So the 3 pole stars of Orion have been signified as the 3 kings, 3 Kings Day, or the 3 wise men. It's the personification. So Sirius and Orion lines up and points the way to the birth of the sun, the 25th of December. The 3 wise men followed the star of Bethlehem, Sirius, to see the birth of the 3 wise men, pole stars of Sirius, of Orion, aligned with Sirius on December 24th. What? Points to the birth of the sun, December 24th, 25th. December 25th, Christmas. It's all cosmology, fam. Now tell me that got nothing to do with us. You just don't know the astronomy. That's why Lincoln chose the third Thursday. Because that's Orion's rising.
Which is Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving, the third Thursday. That's why it's arbitrary. So now you have Orion, here, Egyptian mythology. Orion lies on his back, and Sirius is raising, or Set is raising what? Osiris or Ru from the dead. Sirius is raising her Ru from the dead. Or Osiris. Or Sar from the dead. Sirius is raising a Sar from the dead. That means Orion, the Jed pillar. Come on, y'all. The Jed pillar is tilted. All right, here we go. We got the Jed pillar. All right. So Orion is on his back. So this is Orion on his back. Sirius or a Set raises Orion from the dead, and now the Jed pillar is standing straight, or Sirius is now Orion is standing straight. It's all cosmology, fam. The Europeans did not make anything up. They stole your stuff, and they transliterated names. They stole your stuff. And we just don't know the origin of anything. We keep saying that's the white man stuff, 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 white man, white man, white man. And I hear that from the Afrocentric folks all the time. They know jack.
And they put Asar and Osiris and the L made it Lazarus.
Let's talk Lazarus. Lazarus, come out of your tomb. Which is Asar. Asar is Lazarus. Lazarus, come out of your tomb. Lazarus. Any questions? That's the Jed pillar. Jedi. All right, so now the Jedi is Taurus, the eye. The eye of Taurus, the bull. Bull's eye. Bull's eye. So you have the alignment of, and masonry. Let me explain Jedi, or bull's eye. Bull's eye. All right, explain bull's eye. 3, 5, 7. 3, 5, 7 alignment. You have the winding staircase and masonry. Staircase. That's why I was telling you to talk to the brother. I can break this stuff down. The winding staircase, 3, 5, 7 alignment. And you have, start here with this alignment. 3, 5, 7. And you have your 1. 3 stars, that's Orion. Taurus, bullseye, Pleiades. And this is Sirius. This same alignment is in Washington, D.C. The White House, Capitol Building, and Justice Building. The White House, the Capitol Building, and Justice Building are aligned, are built to form this alignment. It charts this alignment. Washington, D.C., Capitol, White House, the Capitol Building, and the Justice Building are aligned with this alignment. It's called Egypt on the Potomac. Egypt on the Potomac. That ain't not stuff either. And they're what? Laws of nature, nature's God. They're maintaining the power with this knowledge. This is the only way you can maintain rulership. You can't, family, you don't maintain rulership with no gun. That's wrong. You can have the gun all you want. If you don't understand cosmologistic knowledge, it's coming down. The gun's not the law. Nature is. Nature is. It's coming down. You ain't ruling for no 10,000 years, maybe not 2,000. If you don't understand laws of nature and nature's God, because that's the law. Europeans know that.
That's why it's in the Constitution.
Exactly. This is why they spend a lot of finance, elaborate Masonic buildings, marbles and everything, and they put the altar and 3 candlesticks. All right, here we go. The altar, here's the 3 candlesticks right here. The 3 candlesticks forms that alignment. So you have the 3 candlesticks and the altar and a cube. A cube is the Egyptian unit of measurement. And the cube or altar is what? On a black and white checkerboard floor. And the black and white checkerboard floor casting shadow light, shadow light, shadow light. So the sun rising, you see shadow, light, shadow, light. It's all astronomy, y'all. Any questions? Any questions online? Any point of clarification? I need to see. That's called the winding staircase in masonry. It's 3-5-7 alignment. Orion is 3 stars. I'm sorry. I
got that part. You said it's
let me make sure people. There's alignment. Orion is 3 stars, 3 bright stars. Taurus is the constellation of 5 stars. Pleiades is a star cluster of 7 stars. And the one is Sirius, but it's 3-5-7, and I put that one there, or the all-seeing eye. The all-seeing eye with the light coming emitting from the back of the all-seeing eye is Sirius. Back on the Federal Reserve note, the all-seeing eye, the light emitting, all right? Or the blazing star in masonry, they call it the blazing star in masonry. All right, Albert Pike refers to it in the Morals of Dora as the blazing star. The blazing star shines in our lodge. Have the blazing star in the center on the checkerboard floor. Does that brother know this?
Might blow my way with that.
Oh, that's what I aim to do. I'll keep telling you they don't know masonry. I don't know how many times I need to tell y'all that. Y'all keep saying they know? All right, let's see. Y'all keep believing that they know. All right. Keep thinking that our brothers and sisters know this. All right. They don't know this like this. They about partying and shaking their booty and all that. This is detailed study now. I'm talking, this is cosmology, though. I don't know what they think this is. I don't know what they think masonry is. I know they don't think like this. You know what they think masonry is? Club, have meetings, do bars, this, the brotherhood getting together, sisterhood getting together, doing a bunch of some fundraisers, and having a good time, and you know what I mean? Like I told Tamara, putting the apron on is not masonry. Wearing the apron is not masonry. Huh? Wearing the apron is not masonry. How wearing the apron is masonry? It's not masonry. Masonry is the science. Putting the apron on is not the science. Learning how to properly breathe is masonry. Learning how to properly breathe to activate the Kundalini energy is masonry. Wearing an apron as an initiate in Egyptian mystery school, where you learn how to activate the Kundalini energy. The act of doing that is basically not the apron. They think wearing the apron and the gloves is masonry. Come on, fam. What does it mean? You're covering the lower three chakras. You are initiating the Egyptian mystery school. And you're learning how to activate the higher senses of the brain. With that class or Christ begins to rise in you. So now class is rising from the dead. The dead is the lower three chakras. So Christ, you have the open mouth ceremony. The open mouth ceremony, or the ceremony of the resurrection. And that class rises from the dead, the lower three chakras, and begins to ascend to the throne. This is religion, folklore, masonry, whatever you want to call it. That's what this is. What they get in the lodges ain't masonry. What they get in those churches, mosques, synagogues ain't religion. They get mind control, not religion. I would never call that they get religion. I love my mom, but my mom's not religious. My mom's not religious. Did I say wrong? Thank you. My mom ain't religious. Hold on, this is her. And my mom reads the Egyptian text every day. More than I do, but I know it in her. I know more than her. And she can quote and quote and quote and quote. I don't think nothing to me. I'm not impressed with that. She's been indoctrinated into believing that quoting, parroting is power. That's so she's been smoked in the head with that. That parroting is power. That I gotta read up to this. There's no strength in that. There's no power in that. You can read it 20 hours a day. You ain't gonna get no power from that. Applying it is power, not breathing. Learn how to breathe properly. Learn how to the Kundalini energy. When you start now you start singing things, and then you can make things move, make it rain, make it not rain, walk through walls, levitate a car with your mind. Now people we've been, come on man, we've been played, bro. We've been played. We've been taught that parroting the Bible is the power. The Europeans are playing us. I need to challenge that. They're playing us, making us believe that we have some power when we don't. Because you can parrot and parrot and parrot. That means jack, crap. Because you're reading with a connotative mind. You'll never evolve. Never. With that mind, you'll never evolve. You can read it 1,000,000 times. As long as you read it with a distorted, connotative mind, you'll never evolve. If you read it 1,000,000 times, you can quote it verbatim. You can quote the book from the first word to the last word without having the book, and you still ain't got no power. And I ain't impressed with that. But I ain't even trying to quote it from the last word. I ain't even trying to be a quoter of it. Because I don't really care about studying like that. I study it this way. I don't care about quote this, quote that, Matthew this, Matthew that. I don't even care about doing all that. I can learn to do that. To what end? What does that mean? I don't care about that. I study this. I study what it means. Break the astronomy down. Study even going more into knowing that each word represents a number. So let me get into that now. And I think I didn't do this on tape. Isopsepia. Isosepia. I got the pronunciation down right. Isosepia. We know this is Greek because the PH is the S sound. All right, the PS, S is silent as in psychology, psych, right? We go psych. All right, isosepia. We have gematia. All right, isosepia is the practice of converting names and words into numbers. Once again, isosepia is the practice of converting names and words into numbers. Gematria is the practice of converting names, numbers into geometry, shapes. The practice of converting numbers into geometry and shapes. All right? Hence, the compass and the square. Come on, y'all. Geometry. Geometry unfolds the universe. Geometry unfolds the shape of the universe. Geometry is very important to unlocking the key of the structure of the universe. So what we saw at the temple, at the Grand Lodge, one Wall Street, 3 weeks ago when we went, you saw that in different rooms. You saw the different shapes, dealing with the flower of life, emitting, we saw creation. The creation through geometrical shapes, the fruit of life, the flower of life. So we saw the different. And they got us thinking that, this Egyptian room, this is the Moorish room, this is the Ionic Greek room, this is this room here, and this room here. I'm like, man, I ain't listening to that guy, man. Take this picture up here, man. I ain't listening to that. I didn't care what he was saying, because we didn't learn jack crap from him. We didn't go listen to them. We go take pictures. They going to teach us jack. One, they didn't put in the proper concept of creation. The laws of nature, nature's God, and the geometry being the key to unlocking creation. And they got us thinking that these are different cultures. Yeah, it's Greek, Ionic, Egyptian, man, come on, man.
Romans.
The Roman. There's no different cultures. It's all based on the same cosmic scheme, y'all. They playing us with this different. Don't even use, when you talking culture or civilization, don't use the word different, please. Once you use the word different, I don't care what you say after that, you're already off because your mind is already distorted. Because when you use different and you see it that way, you're not going to see how it's interrelated. You're looking at, this is all different, there's no connection, there's no cosmic scheme. There's a cosmic scheme that's the same throughout those rooms.
Islam.
Islam.
It's funny because about a month ago, went to a Phillies game, was invited to a Phillies game for the first time. And as soon as, I haven't been to a baseball game, but as soon as I sat in my seat, I was able to see the compass in the square. And it was just an unnerving feeling that, this is interesting. This entire process is built off, the sacred numbers, 3 bases, 9 endings, the number of players on the field. And it was just interesting to see how that entire sporting process is played out in masonry and in cosmology. Islam.
That's with knowledge. See, so you get to see it. Having that knowledge or that Gnosticism, you can see it. It's hitting in plain sight. And it's not hitting with Tamara because she can now see. She's becoming agnostic. You see? Yes.
I wanted to say the
You wait for the.
A couple things. The G is a circle and a square. And then also GE, the Egyptians said Geb. GE means earth, the Greeks said Gaia, and then the Sumerians said Ki, K-I.
Now this is hard to do. It's called squaring the circle. This is what he's talking about. Squaring the circle. We have here. He's talking about squaring the circle. And that squaring the circle relates to the quadratic equation. So I just want to give people some math. The quadratic equation. So you see it this way, the circle within the square, and the square within the circle. Yes. The circle is what? Circle is what?
Feminine.
Feminine. The square is masculine. So let me explain. Any straight line, any lines is masculine. Circles is feminine.
That's what we try to do to the
Yeah,
woman
this
now.
is.
We try to square the feminine off.
Well, I mean, it can only be done through controlling the mind. It can't really be done. Once you control the mind, it's how we see it. See, once they control our minds, they control how we see it. Because it's there. They're not really changing anything other than your mind. That's why people always say in order to change people is change your mind, because the imagery is right in front of you. It's just changing how you see it. That's already been in front of you. All right, now, how long have you been playing baseball? For over 100 years, right? Now, she went to a game, right? And she saw it. It's right in front of you. They ain't changed that. They've been playing baseball for 100 years. So 18 something. 100 and what? 20, how many years? 25, 40 years or something? 140 years?
First time ever going to a game.
Right, and she saw it. First time she went to a game, look out. She was picking it up. I told her that would happen. It's called, no, it's not crazy, it's called Gnosticism. This is Gnosticism.
And that's what Moorish science is built on.
Gnosticism. That's Gnosticism. That's all it is. It's Gnosticism. Alright? So
I sat there and said, and that's a baseball field right there.
that's what I'm trying to tell you. That's what I'm saying.
Finally.
You know what I mean? That's what she's saying to me. Yeah. Any questions? Support the vendor. You'll take, go get some eat your lunch.
Nasir Bey talked about the computer code is feminine and masculine, ones and zeros, yes.
Yeah, you got one masculine, zero feminine, masculine, feminine. Yeah, because it's like I said, the line is masculine, the circles are feminine. So, purpose is feminine. So what you're looking at is because the circle represents creation, completion, cyclical. The line is linear, because time is not this linear. We never view time as linear. We do, because time is cyclical. Because you look at cycles of the moon, the ladies, or Venus, or Sirius. It has you have the great year, and the great year is the 12, ages, and then it repeats. Then it repeats and repeats. It's just a continuous cycles. Ends and beginning, ends and beginning, another cycle. So that's that circle. There's nothing linear about that. Women.
Layla Dykes made a statement. It was a question. Well, it's both. How are we supposed to live with these beings? when they seem to be bent on destruction?
We talked about we have to reclaim our sovereign power. In this Moorish movement, you know, of course, I'm not saying that's simple. I'm not saying that's you know, but that's what has to be done. We need our unity to do that. Reclaim our sovereign power, reclaim our seats. As I said, Donald Trump. I didn't know. You know what? Let me go on that. I said that off camera. I said that off camera. I thought I. All right. You do me a favor. You bring this chair over here like I had before. We'll start the class. Yes, please. Alright, so remember the fairs, up to the fairs. And a pilgrim hat. So pilgrim is a foreigner. Pilgrim is a foreigner. This is the Moorish fez. Now Donald Trump wears both of these. Symbolic speaking, Donald Trump wears both of these. He wears both of these at the same time. So if he wanted to have half of this on it, half of this, and half of this, in a image of Donald Trump, and they put half of this and half of the fez, half of the pilgrim hat on his head, put it together. Something that has that can be drawn. That he's functioning both. The seat, the fez is connected to the seat. There's this office, Moorish office. He himself, Donald Trump, is an agent for the United States. But he's sitting in the seat of the Moorish government. So he's a substitute Grand Wazir. Substitute Grand Wazir. Donald Trump, from the Moorish seat, he nominated other Europeans to be confirmed by the Senate. He nominated Europeans to be wazirs. All right, substitute wazirs. And then what title they use? What title does the United States occupying power use? Secretary. Because of the false history of this, our thinking that they established some country in 1774 and Declaration of Independence, and they established a new nation, was born in 1776, and July 4th is the celebration of the birth of a new nation. That's in our mind, fixed in our minds from childhood. So we really think the United States is a nation. Not knowing that they're running a nation. They're functioning a nation, but the United States is not a nation. So what nation is the United States functioning? The Moorish. Exactly. See how we're connected? So do we have to establish? So did Drew Ali establish the Moorish nation? Did Drew Ali establish the Moorish nation? No. Exactly. It already exists. You know, it's alive and well, functioning right now. Europeans are functioning it. And they're exercising our sovereign power to what? Establish embassies and consulates all over the world. They're exercising our sovereign power to enter into treaties with other body politics. They're exercising our sovereign power to enforce immigration laws. They're exercising our sovereign power to enforce naturalization laws. A colonial power is running a nation, the Moorish nation. So Donald Trump, being the substitute Grand Wazir, wears the fez and the pilgrim hat at the same time. I mean what? The sovereignty, the power that he's exercising is a power that belongs to a people whom the Spanish, the French, the Dutch, the English, Germans defeated at war, at series of wars. You have the Crusades, 1095 to 1235. The battle in 1212, get the name of the battle. We had, by 1235, we only had one control of one Moorish kingdom in Europe. That was Granada. We had already lost Seville, Cordova, Valencia. We had lost control of those Moorish kingdoms. So from 1235 to 1492, so we were able to hold on to Granada for an additional 200 plus years. And we had lost control, total control of Europe in 1492. The Spanish and the Portuguese uniting their forces against the Moors, establishing the Knights Templar in 1100 something, 1128. The Knights of Malta, the Knights of Malta, the Knights of St. John's of Jerusalem. The Knights of St. John Jerusalem is the Knights of Malta. The Knights of St. John of Jerusalem went to 3 different names. And the latest name is the Knights of Malta. So if I hear a brother tell me, yo, brother man, Abdullah, I'm a Knights of Malta. Oh, what? You're a Knight of, you ain't no Knights of Malta? Yes, I am. No, you're not. You ain't no Knights of Malta, fam. I know you may belong to if you call an organization called the Knights of Malta. You can't be no Knights of Malta. You know what the Knights of Malta are? You walk around bragging you're Knights of Malta. You know what the Knights of Malta are? Knights of St. John of Jerusalem that defeated your ancestors. You that? You a Knight of Malta that defeated our ancestors? You ain't that, aren't you? Knights of St. John of Jerusalem? You Knights Templar? You're not Knights Templar, are you? That fought against the Moors? You're Knights of the order, you belong to the order of Christ? You don't belong to the order of Christ, do you? That defeated our ancestors? So you don't know, big boy. So you don't know. They don't even know the history. There's some organization that they belong to. You mean brotherhood, Knights of Templar. Brother, they don't know. It's a joke, bro. It's a joke, bro. They don't know, man. I'm telling you they don't know, fam. I don't care how long they've been in, but I'm not impressed with all that, bro. They don't study, fam. They don't even know the history of the orders, fam. They don't even know the history of the orders. To them, it's just some club. They don't even know the history of it. You gotta know the history of it. Who did they fight? These are military orders. They were not established as some brotherhood orders. They were established as military orders. Why were they established? To fight against the Moors. That was the whole purpose of establishment. Other than that, they didn't need to be established. They had no other purpose to be established. They were established to fight against the Moors. And they belong to that? Are you proud of that? Wow.
Is that why they named all their temples and things after?
They named their temples after Moorish names. So this substitute Grand Wazir Donald Trump, he's running the Americans to another part of America. You know, Mexicans, Americans, to another part of America. So this is our key. All right. One of the shrine temples. Get a chance to look. You know it as this. This is a ancient Egyptian, born of La, god of the moon, in ancient Egyptian religion. H there.
I mean, it might be the two, the A and O.
All right, yeah. That thing, yes, all right. The H is silent. The first pharaoh of the 18th dynasty. Some of these I have to look up, you know, like there's 206 shrine temples. And when I was finishing up Moors and Main Street, I said it would take me too long to look up the etymology of it. And I would have held the book up. So I said I'll do that later. So
that's where they got Mosi from.
Yeah, Pharaoh. Yeah, P-H-A-R. Yes, A-S spelled. That's it. Then you have another one. Here it is. This is another name of the shrine temple. It's called the ancient Egyptian, ancient Arabic order of the nobles of the mystic shrine. Now they no longer use that name. They use the name Shriners International. So I wonder why they stopped using the ancient Egyptian Arabic order of the nobles of the mystic shrine and used the name Shriners International. There's 206 shrine temples throughout the world. And they raise $1 million a day in donations. And how I get the information? That's on a plaque in the shrine temple, in the shrine room at the George Washington Masonic National Memorial Museum in Alexandria, Virginia. It's right in the frame. It's framed. And it reads $1 million a day is raised. It's $365 billion a year. Right? So they have numbers. The numbers have dwindled over the years. When numbers started dwindling during the war, during the World War II. World War II, numbers started dwindling. But this was established in 1871. Now, there is, let me continue here. This means visible land in the sense of plain or desert. So, desert dweller. Desert dweller. Desert dweller. In Arabic. It's another one. Habibi, my love. All right. These are three of the names of the 206 shrine temples. Now, in 1919 or 1921, a local shrine temple, ancient Arabic order of the Noble Mystic Shrine at Houston, sued a local temple of the ancient Egyptian Arabic order of the Noble Mystic Shrine, Prince Hall, and Prince Hall the brothers. So that's called the ancient Egyptian Arabic order of the Noble Mystic Shrine. That's the Prince Hall Masons, the Prince Hall Shriners. Ancient Arabic order of the Noble Mystic Shrine, that's the Europeans. That was the Europeans established their shrine order in 1871. The brothers established their shrine order, ancient Egyptian order, in 1891. The local chapter, European local chapter at Houston, filed for an injunction, which means to forbid the brothers from wearing their own Moorish fezzes, their own Moorish regalia, using their own Moorish names, using their own Moorish paraphernalia. Now, this went to the Supreme Court. The State Supreme Court of Texas upheld the injunction. So the brothers took it to Supreme Court and went to the Supreme Court. The brothers never made the lawyer of the ancient Egyptian Arabic order, Prince Hall Shriners, never put forth the birthright claim. The claim was that the brothers had a right to establish an organization based off the Act of Congress of May 5th, 1871. Act of Congress of May 5th, 1871. And they have a right to establish a corporation under this act. The brothers won the case. The brothers won the case based on this act. They never made the birthright claim. They never countersued the Europeans to file an injunction against the Europeans, forbidding the Europeans from wearing their fezzes. All right? So they're not coming from a birthright claim, bro. This is where they're coming from. This is where they're saying their right is based in. Right? Corporation. They have a right to establish a corporation. So their ruling was, the state Supreme Court of Texas ruling was overturned and allowing the brothers to maintain the ancient Prince Hall made shrine and continue to wear their own Moorish feathers and their own Moorish apron, their own Moorish regalia. So they think that it belongs to the organization. That their right to wear the fez is based in this act of Congress. Their right to wear the apron is based in the act of Congress. Right to use the gavel. Right to use the names and titles and regalia is based in their act. Their right is coming from that. They're smoked in the head. They're smoked in the head. The Europeans sue them.
Still have
If
celebration.
they would have changed that up and did go for their birthright.
It's just say it. Just know it. Just do it. Just be it. Now, it's not going to take much. Just be.
The truth is easy to validate.
Just be. Just be, fam. They're not being. They think it's this. They're not being. They think their right comes from this. They're not being. Just be. Just be. Just do. Just be. Wear the fez. My birthright. Be. And this is what I'm trying to get them to. I know they don't know this. They don't know Jack. They don't know Jack. They don't study. They think it's a club, man. They think their right comes from this. And they're not in this mind of fully studying, partying. They do more partying, man. I love my brothers and sisters, man, but they party. They're not serious enough, man. Not serious. I mean, they're not out here in the community. You know, where do you see them at? Where they at? Where they at? Where they at? What are they doing? Where they at? They do a fundraiser, fam. You know, to give scholarships, $500 scholarship, $200 scholarships, $1,000 scholarship. What are they doing in the community, bro? Effectuate change. They're not, because they don't see it from a birthright perspective. They see it from an organization. You know, this is an organization. I wear the fez. Even the title noble. They think they're noble because they're an officer in the shrine. They think they are noble because they're an officer in the shrine. That don't make them. They're nobles. They are nobles. But that's not why they're nobles. They're nobles by what?
Birthright.
Thank you. They are nobles. So don't say they're not nobles. Don't say so when a brother comes up to you and he says he's a noble, do not say he's not a noble. Because you'll be wrong. You're wrong. You'll be wrong by saying he's not a noble, you're wrong. Now you can teach him why he's a noble. But to say he's not a noble is incorrect. Now when a European comes to you and say he's a noble, he's wrong. But brother is not wrong by saying he's a noble. For whatever reason he's saying it, he's still a noble. That doesn't change the fact he's a noble. He doesn't know that he's a noble by blood. But he's still a noble. Because the title does belong to him by birthright. That's a fact. He doesn't know that it belongs to him by birthright. He thinks it belongs to him because he's an officer in the shrine. So yeah, that's when you come in to educate him. So I call him noble. When I say noble, when I text him, I say noble by blood. Peace, noble by blood. Because I know someone. I know clients. I know more members. I know. Peace, noble by blood. Communicate. Develop relations with them. You know, because I'm educating. I'm not putting them down because I know they don't know. They don't. This is detailed study, bro. They don't get this. They more talk about partying and stuff. They're not really serious, man. They're not serious. I think they can become. I think they will be serious once they really know what it means. Once they really that is their birthright. It really ties the power. Once they comprehend the power, the sovereign power that's connected to this, I really think they will become serious. Right. They just think it's an organization, fun and games, and we're gonna have a party, and we're just gonna go to meetings, and you know what I mean? They're not in this birthright mind. You've got to give them the birthright mind. They will become serious about it. I truly believe that. I truly believe that my brothers and sisters will become serious once they comprehend what this is. They don't know what it is. spend time looking at you, beating that over your head. They don't know. They don't know. I'm talking about, when I say I'm not saying all. Most don't know. I'll use most. Most do not know. Most do not know. I'll go to my grave on that. Most don't know this. Not the detail, I'm breaking it down to you tonight. They do not know. They don't, I'm telling you, by getting my book that's coming out next month, you can run circles down there. In a matter of 3 months. You can go take my book and go do you become a keynote speaker. I'm serious. I'm dead serious. You take one lesson in the book and make their head spin. Because they're not getting it from this perspective. It's not. Go ahead, brother.
What would you say to the black people who say that we are?
Clean it up. Clean it up. Clean it up. Clean it up. Clean it up.
Microphone?
Clean it up. Because you're conscious, so we don't, yeah. You're not speaking like you're not conscious. So yeah.
What would you say to the
Moors? They're
Moors,
They're Moors, bro. They're not black.
The unconscious.
They're unconscious Moors.
What would you say to the? Okay, yeah, I got it. What would you say to the Moors that would say we aren't Moors?
Good question.
I posted a video yesterday.
Hey, you want no problem.
I was just gonna say on Instagram, I was like, people, you need to get your nationality.
Post this on Instagram tomorrow. Post this on Instagram tomorrow. You're gonna post this on Instagram. Post this on Instagram. Black, Moor. Go right to Unveiling dictionary. You'll see it. Brackets. Etymological brackets. Black plus Moor. Alright, post that. Give us some substance. Give us something. And you better yet, go to a dictionary. Go to an unabridged dictionary, maybe 1950 and so 60s, and look this up. And just copy it. Take a picture and post it. And then do this, take a picture, post it, and do this, so you'll see this. You gotta give us some reference. Yeah. Alright? Well, give that. There's something simple, no? I'm saying start off with something simple. Without, something that has some substance. You gotta, start with this. And then once you give them this, then you give them more. But I would start with this. Because this is a powerful lesson, man.
And my thing too is, why would you want to identify as black?
Because they don't, that's what I'm saying, because they don't know. They don't think it's an adjective. They think it's an identity. Remember, that's condition, social conditions. I mean, you're conscious, though. We're conscious, so it's like, what do you mean?
So Islam. So if you're noble by blood, that makes you a Jew by consciousness.
Yes. Yes. Explain that.
Because a lot of times,
you hear people, they will interchange, they'll utilize the word Jew to attach it to a race of people or a class. Let me just say class. Let me clean that up.
All right? How am I doing with this? All right. All right. Let's talk linguistics. This is called a transliteration. All right.
Not translation.
Not translation. Transliteration. We have here Tahuti, Egyptian. All right. Then you have this D and T based on sound relationship to Tahuti, to Yahudi, and quote unquote Hebrew, which is Chaldean. Chaldean, falsely called Hebrew. And then this is modern English. And Tamara said it's been misrepresented as some ethnic group or race, which is neither. It's not a race of anybody, not even yours. Say, well, the Jewish people. It's not a people. It's not a people, like Jewish people. Like, it's not a people. It's not a race. It's not ethnicity. It's a title. It's a title of one who actually, what's the synonym? Cross. Cross would be, all right? Or without, I'll do the, let's do this. I'm trying to do with the, all right, this Karas. You have K-R-S-T, class. All right, class. So this is, or we have Illuminati. All right, Illuminati. Illuminatis is singular, so terror cannot be an Illuminati. Why? It's grammar. It's just grammar. Like what? It's grammar. Illuminati plural, Illuminatis singular. Illuminatis. So say, well, terror is Illuminati. You in proper grammar. It's in proper grammar. One and two, you got one natural person, you say Illuminatis. Illuminati. No, Illuminatis is singular. Illuminati is plural.
That's like a hippopotamus. You say hippopotamus, not hippopotami.
Right. So you have here Illuminatis and Tahuti and Kalas. You can be all related. You're all related. So this deals with a title of dealing with intuition, higher form of knowing, thinking. It's not a people. It's not a race. It's not ethnicity. They misrepresent it to steal the title. So you keep calling them Jews. You're telling them that they're not white, but then you call them Jew. I don't get it. You said they're not white, but you call them Christians. You said they're not white, but you call them Illuminati. I'm confused. Somehow I'm confused. You said they're not white, but you say they're not white, but you say they're Christians. They're not white, but you say they're Illuminati. They're not white, but you say they're Jews. I'm confused. You said they're not white, they're not sovereigns of the land, but then you say they're sovereigns of the land. They're not sovereigns of the land, but then you say they're sovereigns of the land. You don't even know what the hell you're talking. You don't. They're not white, but they're Christians. They're not white, but they're Illuminati. They're not white, but they're Illuminati. They're not white, but they're Jew. You just call them sovereigns. You said they're not sovereigns of the land, but they're sovereigns of the land. This is also talking with sovereignty too. This is because you're talking about a higher state of knowing. It's still tied with sovereign power and rulership. I mean, we keep getting my power go.
I'm going to say that Illuminati.
Brother, they're not. I ain't, brother. Get me over here, brother. You hear me call them Illuminati? Please get me over here to the chair, brother. Because they're not that, bro. Because this deals this kalas, bro. To become this the sun stimulates the serotonin and melatonin in the brain. You need neuromelanin. To become a pneumonitis, you need neuromelanin.
That's us, and they'll try to make it seem
No, that's why we keep, once you put it in its proper context, its cultural context, you can see it. They can't be that. They stole the title from you.
It's appropriation.
It's appropriation. Disassociation. Culture stealing. Whatever one you want to use. Because that's what they are.
So should we just call them
Abion, or English, French, Dutch, Polish, English,
Slaves.
Welsh, slaves.
that would be rude
What's rude?
No, it comes from
to call them a slave?
No, not all of them. Because she just added that. She was saying that she's correct. Like she just giving it. She's adding that. I'm saying I said English, Irish, and slave because you got some of them are Slavics. Some of them are Slavics. That's not rude. You're not being rude.
Melania Trump.
Yes, she's a slave. She's a slave. I'm not being sister pronunciation shit. I've explained. You said being rude. All right, so let me show you that it's not rude. Let me explain that it's not being rude. Let me show you linguistically speaking that's not being rude. Give her a dictionary. Remember that dictionary, please? Show the etymology of slave. Give her the etymology of slave so she can I want her to know with knowledge that it's not being rude. She needs to know that's not being rude. I don't want her to be uncomfortable. I want her to know that she can walk around knowing that she can call Mrs. Trump a slave. That she comprehends why Mrs. Trump is a slave. Not believing anything I'm saying. Give her the etymology of slave. I don't want her to believe me. I don't want her to say Abdullah Bey says. That means she don't know. If you say Abdullah Bey says, that means you don't know. Abdullah Bey showed me in the dictionary with the etymological brackets what slave originally means. That's what I want you to say. I don't want you to say Abdullah Bey says. Abdullah Bey shows you. Abdullah Bey directs you. Abdullah Bey points you so that you can become empowered yourself. Repeating what I'm saying don't mean jack.
Earlier you said that Donald Trump a Christian. The only reason why I said it was because if you look at the word Cretan, which means a stupid person, if you look at the etymology for that, it goes to Christian. It's not Swedish, but
Well, you'll see shine though. You'll see I know you're going. You'll see the Greek, like Christos, and then you'll see the other language. If you look up the Indo-European root, all right. Look up the Indo-European root. You can go quick. All right. Look up the Indo-European root. Indo-European. I know you're going to go. That's the same thing.
that's the only way you're going to get Christian.
No, you can't. No, he's not. Because you'll see. All right. You'll see dealing with here, shine, and then white also means shine. All right. Christian. You'll see Christos, and in Greek they'll say anoint. But anoint is smeared with oil. But still connected. Once you go, then you look at the etymology of anoint, you'll see oil. It means to smear with oil. And then you know that oil is that oil that's secreted in the brain. So it all ties to that. So now, going to slave. Do you see slave? Right. You see slave? Yeah. All right. Take a picture of that.
That's all the
looking up the word slave? All right. Should be over. All right, now take a picture of that. And you see this here? It has as French as slave, Middle English, Latin Slavis, Slavis, origin a Slav. A Slav. Yes. Slav is slave is just another pronunciation. When you add it, what you're doing is you're changing the sound. It doesn't change meaning, sister. It doesn't change meaning. From this, all you're doing by adding this E is a sound. You're creating a sound shift. By adding a letter at the end of the word. All right? That's called para. That's a para. Paradox. By adding a word letter at the end of a word. So that's a sound shift. You're creating a sound shift. Not meaning. This doesn't change meaning. Doesn't change meaning. So I say Slav. Slave. Give me another pronunciation for Slav. Slave. So tomato. Tomato. Are they different words? Different pronunciation. Yes.
Black Negro code.
5 minutes? Oh, wow.
Explain how Mercury tied into the aspect of thought.
Because that's the planet represents.
Oh, yes. Oh, thought. Oh, yes. Ah, wow. I wasted it all. Let me put thought. I didn't have thought. Thought, Mercury. All right, thought, like Mercury, Hermes.
Venus
all right. Hermes. All right, so thought, Mercury. All right, Mercury. You're looking at communication. Thought, communication. Tahuti. Listening, reading, writing, speaking. Areas of communication. Intuition. Higher forms of thinking. Hermes. They're using the word in Greek, right? Hermes. Mercury. Latin. The Romans used Mercury. What they call the god of what? Communication. Commerce. Travel. Listening, speaking. The messenger. There you go. Messenger. So Tahuti, with the Ibis bird, he has the what? Tablet, right? Ibis bird, the tablet. And that tablet, what? Is reading, speaking, writing, forms of communication. That's true. So the epistemology for the word Jew is the Ibis bird with the tablet. That's the epistemology. That's the imagery that you would connect with the word Jew. So you have the word Jew, and you put the Egyptian Tahuti, and you have the Ibis bird next to it, next to the word. Because you have to have the image with the word. Just like, sun. All right? Then you have that's in Old English. S-O-L, S-U-L too, S-O-L. And then what means I? It means I, and here you go. I or Y. So this is the epistemology. This is the epistemology for the word sun. I or Y. That's the epistemology. Yes.
Is that also the epistemology for God? With the circle in the middle? Was that different? Because I've seen that.
It would be the Ibis bird. Tahuti.
The bird?
Yes.
Not the...
No, I've seen that too, sister. Yeah. That's incorrect. That's incorrect epistemology. I know. Let me explain. So I want this. Let me explain. This word God, modern English, is Kuda. Let me explain. I'm not going to just say Kuda, Kuta. All right. This is Sanskrit. All right. Persian. All right. good, and God. And this means invoke. Invoke. Once again, give it spirit. So, because you're looking at Tahuti again, invoking thoughts, thinking. Right. Not. See, when you're saying God, see, what they're doing is you're using a modern English word.
That didn't exist.
Right. You gotta connect it. You gotta go back. And it's not. This is not a being. It's thinking, higher form of invoking, like you were. So we're going to invoke, invocation.
So God, it's a verb.
Yes, invocations. We're gonna have our candles. All right, and we want to invoke good energy. That's what the word God relates to. They just took it out of this occult, cosmologistic. Yes. All right. I want to thank you again. Want to put my book back up on the screen, Tamara? My book coming out at the end of. Oh, well, I can show it. All right, this book, Masonic Compass Square, the connection of timekeeping and measurement, will be available at the end of August, early September. All right, like my editor, all right. Then I have one in Chicago. So we're looking at this is gonna be available. All right, so we're gonna end August, early September. So this is Masonic Compass Square. I deal with but I talked about a lot tonight. You know, I didn't go too much into it. I got 5 chapters. I just touched a little bit on certain chapters. All right, Tamara wanted me to give you a taste of it.
Pre-orders, mooresandmasonry.org.
Yeah, pre-orders, mooresandmasonry.org.
Okay,
Yes.
go ahead and close us out.
All right. I want to thank you again for bringing me. And I trust that I did some good and was able to enlighten you and get you to that class, that Illuminati, that Jew, Kudak level of thinking. All right? So I should be back here, looking at maybe Saturday. We got to see what the numbers are for Saturday. Next Saturday. Saturday of next week, not tomorrow. All right? So thank you again. I'll leave you in peace. Assalamu alaikum.
What's up?
We want to make sure to remind you that tomorrow at 5 p.m. we will have a very informative writ writing class. It's called the Writ to Freedom Writing Class with Brother Aaron L. Tomorrow at tomorrow 5 p.m. Get a mic.
What's the time?
5 o'clock.
I'm sorry.
5 p.m. to 9 p.m. tomorrow. We will be broadcasting live on Facebook. Again, we encourage, if you can't come here in person, we still need your support. And those of you who are out there watching all over the globe, we need your financial support to keep on doing this. During the summer months, sometimes it gets, the numbers go down as far as those who actually attend. And we really, in order to keep on doing this every week, we have to have your support. So we have our PayPal and Cash App links listed. We want to keep doing this for you, especially those of you who are faithful to watch online every week. We appreciate you. We want to bring this to you. We want to bring you the best of the best that we can. And that's what I think we do a pretty good job of doing that. Tomorrow is going to be an exciting class. I get many telephone calls from all over from people who have needs for remedy and have issues. Well, tomorrow will be an excellent time with a Moorish brother who's also a 32nd degree Mason. and is operating in his allodial status even with his own properties. You want to talk to somebody who's actually done the work himself. He's going beyond just telling you what to do, but this gentleman actually has put it into practice. You know, there's one thing to talk about it in principle, but when you have someone who has experience in practice, that's who you want to hear. And Brother Aaron L. will be here from Philadelphia tomorrow, 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. It's going to be an exciting class. He was already here earlier in the week with a private group that brought him in to do some work, and we were excited that we were able to get him ourselves for this Saturday. So that's tomorrow, 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. And again, we urge and we need your support. We love you. Peace.